Well. Shabbat Shalom, family. I'm checking in just a little bit early, man. A couple minutes early. Why not? As a little Edomite trying to be a Jake said, I got time today, cuz. I got time today. Not really. I'm actually short on time today. So I'm trying to see if we can stir the pot up a little earlier. See a couple of my family members in the house. Shemai Wan, what's good, my brother? Shalom, shalom. What's good down there in TNT, man? I know there's always some madness happening down there, man. My Trinidadian brother, what's happening with you? Na'amawa, shalom, shalom, shalom. Bayan Shakal, shalom, Mike. Hey, Shaq, shalom. What's good, my brother? Hopefully y'all all right, man. Hey, check in with me. Let me know y'all good, man. Let me know if you're still on the journey. If Nakaraya need anything or whatever, hit me, let me know. Hopefully y'all are good. Hopefully this Shabbat, man, finds y'all all well. Shalak in the house. What's good, my brother? Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom, you guy. What's going on, man? I'm gonna give y'all a few more minutes to come on, slide on in, man. I'm just opening up the doors, man. When you walked in, did you wipe your feet? I just opened the door. Did you wipe your feet? If you didn't, man, get out. Get out. Wipe them dirty, dusty feet off, man, before you come in the house. All right, do me that favor. Shabbat shalom to my family, man, down there in Jacksonville, House of Elkanah, man. Blessings to y'all. All right. Blessings to y'all. Let's see here. Let me throw up the contact info, man. Y'all need to reach us, man. It's the covenant144 at gmail.com, man. Messengers of the covenant on Instagram. The cash app is $ IQAhmath. Preferably do it after the Sabbath if you decide that you want to send your alms deeds. I'm not going to creflo y'all. Cash flow, I should say. Cash flow dollar. We don't get on his ass too today, man. That Negro think he's slick. He think he's slick, man. We on to him now. Myself amongst, I mean, I was gonna really like go in on him, like just do one DSTM on him alone a couple days ago, but I started realizing that there was just so many people already on his head in the Israelite community and outside the community. Uh, you know, what good would it be with my additions? But I'll touch on him just a little taste today. Cash flow, we on your ass. Cash flow, we on your ass, bro. That dude think he's slick. He think he's slick. All praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, man. Kohath Shalom, brother. All right. Good, you got good. All right, Jazzy Shalom, Shalom. Aladai Shalom, what's happening, bro? All right. Everybody kind of sliding on in, man. All praise, honor, and glory to the Most High while you have a shot, man. You've reached it. You already know what time it is, and you know what we do here. DSTM, don't shoot the messenger. It's episode 129. 129. That's right. I'm keeping count. All praises, man. Hopefully you guys are well, man. Again, if you have not already, man, go ahead and hit that like button by wiping your feet. Do your brother that solid. Man, so we can go ahead and make sure that the algorithms is not cheating us, because they are. Listen, my brother Bayan just told me, he's not getting notified again. He had to go back and check his notifications again. So know that there is a concentrated effort, man, on YouTube, slowing down the traction on all Israelite content, and not just ours, any content that's exposing this demonic system known as the beast system, and speaking truth. You know what I'm saying? Just at the bottom line, speaking truth. So make sure, obviously, if y'all are on, your notifications are solid. But you always want to periodically check, because YouTube is definitely doing their part of censoring and knocking down the momentum of brothers and sisters, man. So hopefully everybody's solid today. It's that time. Let's go ahead and get busy. You know what? Hold on. Before we do, I wanted to show y'all one other thing. Let me close this out. One other thing that was very interesting. Very interesting. Okay. All right. I don't know what happened, but I've been seeing people all of a sudden just dropping off. I don't know if it's an internet connection or what's going on, but either way, we still ride. Okay, so check this out, y'all. Um, There's been so much just in this week alone, turmoil, so much activity going on in the spirit and in the world that it's been hard to keep up with all this madness, man. I mean, we've got everything from the Georgia Guidestones, which is a idol monument of the Masonic order being destroyed. We'll talk about that. We've got protests going on globally. The famine shortages are now being calculated to the millions in regards to deaths that's occurring. Um, Obviously, we still got Cashflo Dollar out here glitterbugging and lullabying Jake's back to sleep, man. Utilizing his hypnosis, man. He's got the damn clock out, pulling one of those moves, man. Lullabying Jake's to sleep, man. Out here acting as if he's being humble, he's being abased. You know, he's been corrected. He's been shown the gospel of what do you say? The gospel of grace. Or no, the covenant of grace or something like that. Whatever this dude lying about. I'm still learning. The nigga is full of shit. You already know. I'm trying to keep it right on the Sabbath, man. Let me watch me, y'all. Watch me, y'all. If I get turned up a little bit, slow me down. Slow me down. Okay. But the Negro is out here playing games. I didn't believe it. And when brother the Shalimar told me, he said, "Hey, Creflo done came out and denounced tithing." I said, "What? Get out of here. You lying, man." I said, "The Jews require a sign, bro. Show me that." He showed me the video. I said, "What?" I said, "What is this? What is this dude up to?" So obviously I had to go back, double back, look at it myself, and then I seen his sermon the following. I believe it was the following day after his confession, or the following weekend. The Negro is slick. He's doubling down. Actually, he's doubling down on his prosperity doctrine. Okay. But we're gonna talk about that, man. I mean, we've got a multitude of things to talk about, man. Russia telling the US, man, look, we're just starting in the Ukraine. We're just getting warmed up. And if you interfere, it's going down. They testing nukes again. The US is trying to test their ICBMs and they failing. So it's only showing America's in trouble, man. Americans, I mean, U.S. trying to try out their missiles, man. Them things is blowing up before they even get off the damn launch pad. Russia's telling them, hey, you better slow down, fall back, man. The Hamites is over there getting slaughtered. They're getting put to death because of the famine and disease, man. New plagues is coming up. The ninja variant. I mean, all kind of madness is happening, man. If you want to talk about all hell breaking loose, man, you've reached the right place. We're getting into it today. All right, so let me go ahead and share my screen. I mean, you're gonna see ultimately. I made mention. I can't remember which episode it was. Either the Hump Day, or it could have been Man of Monday, man. That I checked in with brothers and sisters, and I was talking about New York and everything that was happening over there. With the July 4th shootings, man, the mass layoff. I mean, not the layoffs, but the resignations of the police out there. And I made mention about as expensive as it is to live in New York, and what you get for it, it ain't worth it, right? You said some three cops killed three innocent Jakes. You might want admit par for the course, brother. Par for the course, man. Unbelievable. Right there in Trinidad. We thinking it's only here. Remember, the Most High is gonna smite us everywhere that we go, man. Them curses gonna follow us, man. And the devil is every damn where, and his system. Karatazar Shalom. All right, so let's get to it, y'all. Let's get to it, man. No further ado. Without further ado. Okay, since we just talked about New York, man, let me get this out the way. Let me get this out the way. Because ultimately, this is really what Esau would like. He would like everybody living in subsidized, government ran micro apartments that are all built around a central system of the social credit score, where your housing, your food, everything is attributed to the system. You go back and you labor for the system. You get your little brownie points as far as being a good carbon citizen. You understand? This is part of the Great Reset. This is what they want Jakes to get accustomed to living. You know, pretty much in prison living. This dude look like, oh, look inside the smallest apartment in NYC. Watch this. Oh,
There are 4
there
tools.
they go.
On their
All right,
own,
come on, hurry
they're
up.
dangerous.
Hurry up.
But together,
All right, get out of here. Come on.
This is officially the small.
Now check this out, y'all. I seen this and I said, I got to share this. Inside the smallest apartment in NYC, he just came in the house.
Smallest apartment in all of New York City, measuring just 55 square feet.
Hold up.
This is officially the smallest apartment in all of New York City, measuring just 55 square feet, or just about 5.1 meters squared. The apartment is located on St. Mark's Place in the Lower East Side and has been the go-to spot for those looking to move to the Big Apple.
You see that? Average rent in NYC is $4,000 a month. That's rent. That's not mortgage. That's rent for NYC. Now, which areas? I'm not sure. You know, I'm sure Jake's is in the projects, man. It's been factored in with, Section 8 and affordable housing and all that. I'm sure Jake's is definitely not paying that because otherwise, them projects will be torn down and niggas be out here in the streets. Jake's is not paying no 4Gs to stay in the projects. So those is all affordable housings. But we're talking about lower Manhattan, upper Manhattan, those particular areas within the city that you need the conveniences to getting back and forth to work, the ones that you want to live in, the greater areas of those boroughs, Queens, Brooklyn, Bronx, you're going to pay an average. Them brownstones some Jakes be living in, good Lord.
And make their dreams come true on a budget, of course. The apartment comes with a microwave, sink, vanity.
Look at the sink. And it comes with a microwave. Look at this. Here's the front door. I mean, imagine this is no different. It might be a little bit bigger than a 6x9 cell. A little bigger. He said 55 square feet. Okay. You do the math, break it down. But it's damn near a cell.
Microwave, sink, vanity, and a mini fridge. Here's your walk-in closet with some shelving, complete with your very own sleeping loft. And if you're wondering, the shared bathroom is just right down the hall. And this place is on the market for $1,400 per month.
Did you hear that? $1,400 a month. Who's moving to New York? Y'all moving to New York? Who's going there? Can you imagine? I mean, but understand this. This is the ultimate goal that they want everybody. When they say you'll have nothing, you'll own nothing, and you'll be happy. The famous quote of Klaus Schwab of the Great Reset, the World Economic Forum, when he talked about the Great Reset, and in that book, that's what he's talking about. That's going to be the ultimate goal, man. When they do put a agenda, they've been talking about Agenda 21, Agenda 2030, when they seize in private property rights, when they start raising up the property taxes on people, banks foreclosing and snatching up people's properties, force people off of their lands or whatnot. We seen what happened in 2008 with the crashing of the economy, right? And everybody was losing their homes. They gave everybody them old balloon subsidized approvals for loans for houses. Everybody was out there buying up houses, and before you know it, the market dropped. The values all got jacked up. All of those adjustable rate mortgages switched up. You got financed. You was paying $1,200 for a 5-bedroom house. Next thing you know, it boosted up to $3,500. You couldn't pay it. You lost your house. Now you got the bankruptcy on you. You got the foreclosure on your record. You're back in your parents' garage, man, eating off a hot plate, you and your family, and your credit's jacked. You understand? So this is the same scenario that they're trying to promote. Now here we are in one of the biggest, well-known, affluent cities in the country. And you've got people that's willing to compromise just to be there, to pay $1,400 a month to live in a little roach motel and a shared bathroom. You understand? They have New York is wild. They've got apartments like that where it's one bathroom per floor. The apartments don't even have bathrooms, man. Everybody's sharing the same damn bathroom. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. You understand? Living out there in squalor like that, man. But that's if it's up to them, that's what they want and how they want everybody to live. Okay. So I just wanted to share that, man, because leave it to Esau, man. If he gets his way, that's how he wants everybody living, man. So he can own everything else. And we lose everything. Okay. Let's look at this, man. I know y'all seen this, but I'm gonna revisit him. I'm gonna revisit him, man.
I want to start off by
Cashflow dollar. Him and his little, you know what? I'm not gonna disrespect his wife. Taffy dollar. Cashflow dollar and Taffy dollar, man. Where do they get these names from, man? I mean, if they say the devil is in the details, man, and the Negroes that's running over there to his damn church, if you don't see that the pastor's last name is Dollar and he's promoting a prosperity doctrine, I've got the videos, man. I don't have time to play them today, but y'all seen it where he was out there pleading and telling the people, you know what? I'm gonna double back. I'm gonna get his ass later. I'm gonna get him with them other videos. Pleading and telling everybody how they have to buy him this $65 million jet. He can't do the work of evangelist if y'all don't give him the work. He's got to travel. He got to get out. I can't be taking commercial. He told everybody to get that money. Later in this sermon, he says, if anybody is pressuring you to tithe, you need to get out that church. That's him saying that in this same damn sermon. If anybody's pressuring you to tithe, you need to get out of there. And the Negro been using these same tactics on this church for the whole damn 30 plus years that he's been out here prophesying lies with his forked tongue. He's using reverse psychology on the people, man. It's unbelievable. Hold on.
saying to you that I'm still growing and that the teachings that I've shared in times past on the subject of tithing were not correct.
Now, you should hear a lot more rumbling in the crowd. People should be like, huh, what? Hold on, what? You know how Israel do. You don't hear the gasps of women. You know what I'm saying? They still are under hypnosis. They still are out here in a trance. Mouths open, drool coming out, waiting for the snake to deliver more poison. They haven't been hit yet.
And today I stand in humility.
Look, he could barely even get the word out, man. I'll let you know he ain't really moving in humility. Today I stand in humility. This Negro is slick.
To correct some things that I've taught for years and believed for years, but could never understand it clearly.
Hold on. Did you just hear that? He said he's taught on the subject for years. He's written books, done lectures, he's gotten interviews. I mean, he's done it all. But then readily just said he never understood it. Why is that not a red flag for anybody going to his church? He's clearly telling you, I be out here talking out the side of my neck. I don't even understand half of the stuff I'm telling you. But if it sounds good, if it sounds like it makes sense, if it sounds like it's going to make you feel good, I'm going to keep on saying it. The damn nigga, he just lied. I mean, he just openly said, I've been teaching on this subject for years, but I never understood it.
But could never understand it clearly because I had not yet been confronted with the gospel of grace.
Now he's lying. That's the whole premise that his church and everybody else, all these other damn bootleg venomous churches is out here teaching is that we're under grace, we're not under the law. I mean, he's been quoted saying that for years on end, along with the rest of these damn charlatans. He's claiming that he didn't understand grace. So you telling me you was following the law? You was teaching the laws then? I mean, what does Romans say? He's gonna go there, but I'm not gonna completely go in on him. Like I said, there's been enough commentaries on him. I just wanted to give my half little 2 cents about it, just off of this. But look, the dude said he's been teaching on it for years. He never fully understood it. Now he's doubling back and saying because he didn't understand the gospel of grace, which is a damn lie. Means, in other words, if you're not under grace, then you're under the law, according to Christianity. He wasn't teaching the laws.
which has made the difference. I won't apologize, because if it wasn't for me going down that route, I would have never ended up where I am right now.
I won't apologize. So niggas, don't think you're getting refunds. Don't think those alms in the storehouse is gonna help you in the day of calamity. Paraphrasing the scripture in Tobit. He's not apologizing. He said, because if I didn't do this, I wouldn't have made the come up. I wouldn't have the Bentley. I wouldn't have the elaborate church. I wouldn't have the suits. I wouldn't have the plane and the jets. I wouldn't be able to take Taffy out to these nice little restaurants. Huh? I wouldn't have this expensive ass watch on. I wouldn't have made the come up. I wouldn't have been able to charge for guest speaking spots when I get invited to other churches. Y'all seen that video with him and Reverend Leon? What's that dude's name, man? I remember years ago, the first video I did on YouTube was like 2009 or something like that. Maybe like that. Something like that. Before we really started getting on YouTube back in the day. And it was about tithing, man. They had a video of him and Reverend Leon. I forgot the dude's name. If y'all know, put his name in the chat. And they was throwing money on the damn pulpit, and they was dancing. They was talking about, we're gonna put anointing on this money, and woo, woo. If y'all know, you remember. I mean, just blatantly celebrating the robbery and the thievery of the other congregation, man, and gloating about it in front of everybody. And now he's humbly talking about he didn't understand.
But I will say that I have no shame at all at saying to you, throw away every book, every tape, and every video I ever did on the subject of tithing.
Hold on. Now he said, I have no shame in saying throw away every book, every video, and every TV show he did about tithing, right? Hold on. I'm sure the videos had a price tag on it. I'm sure the books had a price tag on it. Negro, how come you're not saying I'm willing to refund you? Don't tell them throw it away. You pretty much are telling them, man, money get down the drain. But you sure damn, you cast them checks, man. You accepted them damn the cost for them books. The real humble way is to say, you know what? Everyone that can show me a copy of my book, I will refund you the money. Everyone that brings a tape or a cassette or a videotape or a DVD, bring it to me. You don't even have to have the original receipt. I'll give you your money back. This slick Negro said, man, just throw it away. Even though you cashed in, though, huh?
Unless it lines up with this. I've done some corrective teaching in the last 10 years, but not to the degree of what we're getting ready to do now. So why is this important? Because religion is sustained by two factors.
Give him the game.
Fear and guilt.
Uh-oh. And you've used both.
And if it's one subject that the church has used for a long time to keep people in fear and...
Now, he's trying to say the church as if he's not part of that church. As if he's not part of the conglomerate. He's trying to make it sound like other churches are doing this. And he's been the head damn demon doing this.
Guilt, it is in that subject of tithing.
Do y'all remember? And I got the video. I just didn't, like I said, I was going to go in on him earlier this week. But I just said, once I start seeing, non-Christians, Christians, Israel, I mean, everybody was on his head. I was just like, it's oversaturated. What's the point? But he said the church uses fear. Do y'all remember when he did the video talking about if we were still under the law of Moses and so forth and so on, and if he had the ability, he would put eight. Not I said ATM machine. Salaki to anybody I said he said ATM machine. I couldn't. I thought I could have sworn he said he would have put ATM. But what he said was he would have machines out there that would have card readers that you would put the card in, and it would be ding ding ding. He's paid his tithes. She paid her tithes. Come on in. And the ones that it didn't, that went off and said they didn't pay their tithes, he said that they would have like a firing squad outside waiting, and he would shoot anybody that didn't pay tithes. I got the video. Those are quotes. And here he is readily admitting, talking about that the church uses fear on people. Has he changed that?
And it has to be corrected, and it's got to be corrected now. I may lose some friends. Preachers may not ever invite me no more, but
Why? Is there some sort of inside hustle going on? Is there some insider trading going on? They're saying, oh, hold on, this nigga, he's exposing the game. Cashflo is trying to expose it. He's trying to take money out of our pockets.
I think I already been through that, so it doesn't matter.
The nigga acting like he coming
wanna
into the
start
truth or
off
something.
by-
I'm gonna lose friends. They might not get invited back to church. You ain't coming into the truth, bro. Get out of here. Now, here goes it. Now look at you see him now. Now he got the beard. Now he wants to try to even change his look. He got rid of that damn pedophile mustache. I'm not saying he's a pedophile. That's just an inside joke. They always talk about cats with mustaches you can't trust. But nonetheless, now he wants to grow his beard out a little bit. Now, one of the things that he said is that tithing is of the old covenant. I'm not gonna go through all of this. Just tithing is of the old covenant, right? And this is something that we used to cut, and I'm sure Jake still do to this day. Cut the hell out of these Christians all the time when they keep talking about we're not under the law. We're not under the law. Our first question is, do you tithe? Of course. Well, tithing is an Old Testament law. Why are you not excluding tithing from your we're not under the law anymore? They could never answer that. So this is him providing understanding for himself and the rest of the body of the church and his constituents to say, this is how we're going to answer this, y'all. So that was always a cut for them.
You are welcome to Bible study tonight. Welcome those of you who are online and those of you who are here into generous giving.
Now, hold on.
There's some stuff I didn't talk about on Sunday.
Look, he said he want to talk about some stuff he didn't talk about Sunday. So first he, lifted up the damn plane, dropped them low, didn't crash land. Now he wants to double back, right? If you just look up here, this is why I'm saying the dude is on the hustle. What he was saying was, we can't classify. I'm just going to summarize a little bit. We're not going to classify that we're under the old quote unquote Mosaic law. If we continue on with that narrative, then we have to say that we're tithing. That means that we're held accountable by the other aspects of the law as well. So what we're going to flip it to is that we're under the new covenant, and under the new covenant, Christ has given us grace. And as we see, everybody that's moving under Christ and under grace, it was just about generous giving. I said this a week or so when I told brothers, I said, man, he's just gonna switch it to alms deeds and free will offerings or whatnot. He's still gonna require that money. He's gonna bring out Acts talking about what's the brother Ananias, I believe, and his wife that sold their land and shortchanged the prophets, got put to death. That's why I said this dude's doubling down. He's saying, I'm gonna let him say it. Let me.
And tonight I'm going to talk about from tithing to generous giving.
Why is it just got to be generous? Why not just tithing to free will giving? They'll flip that up and say, oh, the Lord loveth a cheerful giver. See, He went from tithing to generous giving. That's why I said he doubled down.
Yeah, from tithing to generous giving. Now, one thing I learned during the pandemic is people do what they want to do. You ain't got to do nothing I'm teaching. I'm just saying that there's the better. See, there was a law in the old covenant, and then Jesus is the better. And there was the tithing system in the old covenant, but generous giving is the better. And you got to make that decision on your own. I ain't your mom and daddy. You got to do what you
Oh,
need.
look how I make it sound like, oh, that's just so free. But again, guilt and fear. He's still using the same tactics. Because now what's he gonna guilt you into saying? You ain't gotta listen to me. After as many times as he told you, I've got the anointing. God has chosen me. Look at what the Lord has blessed me with. If the Lord was not with me, I wouldn't have the jet, I wouldn't have the Bentley, I wouldn't have I wouldn't have Taffy by my side. You understand? So now he's saying, you ain't gotta listen to me. I mean, do what you want to do. Like play with the Lord if you want to. At your own risk, go ahead. But you better do the right thing. Because I'm telling you the better way. And if you refuse to do the better way, hey, let the Lord deal with you. That's basically what he's saying.
Need to do. But as a pastor of World Changers Church, I want my church to know the better that I have come to know. And you choose to do. Ain't nobody told you got to stop tithing. You do what you want to do.
You just got through saying you told him to stop tithing. You just said throw away my books, throw away my videos, throw away. You're the leader. And now you're leaving it open to interpretation. Do whatever you want. See, that's the undisciplinary nature, man, that the damn Christian bootleg ass snake driven church provides. No damn order, no structure, and that's why they so rebellious out there on them streets, man. And we trying to tell them, come underneath these laws, man. Get disciplined. Follow a moral code. I can do what I want. Because you got these damn leaders like him telling everybody, do whatever you want. This is why they say we're not under the law. We're under grace. You can go do what you want. You could be a homosexual. You can go out there and eat what you want. You can go commit all kind of abominations. You don't have to come to church on no damn Saturday. Sunday is the Lord's day. Sabbath is every day. Yep. All of these damn abominable doctrines that they come out there. God loves everybody. The grace and mercy for the Gentiles as well as the Jews. Yep. Whatever you want to do. This is the folly that goes on.
But I'm going for the better. Amen. If you want to give 10%, fine. I want to give 40%.
You hear that? So in other words, man, you still want to live, you still want to live on them lower levels? Huh? You can pay 10%. I want to give 40. The nigga ain't even giving 40. He not giving nothing. That's suggestive persuasion, seed getting put into the minds of the people. That's the standard. Oh, you was sticking to that 10%, huh? So you got paid $500. You want $50 is all you gonna give, huh? Or you want to up the ante? Give 40.
I want the better. You do what you want to do. I don't know why you got to be told that. I don't know you. Do the better. And so that's what I'm teaching tonight is that I'm going to
Okay, so I'm enough of him. Enough of him. I done spent enough time on this damn demon, man. I didn't even want to go that far in with him. But y'all see the game. You see the game. Cashflow dollars out here collecting. He doubled down. He doubled down. And now he's sitting back out here doing this madness. What I missing? What I missing the damn chat, man? Y'all see what he's doing. Neva Howard, he couldn't understand it. That's what he's saying. Deaf though. I like that. Deaf though, darling. Cash flow, darling. You know. Uh, give me a break, man. You already know this dude. Yeah, last days. IUIC's been doing a real good job doing their church blitz. They've been doing a real good job. We was not to slight their work. I salute them brothers all day. Um, yeah, we was doing not necessarily church blitzes, but posting up in front of churches for a little while. Actually, even going into their services. A couple brothers and got removed out of churches from trying to go in there and prophesy the truth, man, and expose the lies to them people. But all praises, man. That they definitely out there putting in that work, man, and getting on these damn demons, man. But let's get a couple scriptures real quick, man. Let's go to Isaiah 56. Oh no, here goes one right here. I forgot I had this one up. This is what you say, man, to the damn ignorant Negro out there who still don't want to believe the hype. Okay. Sirach 12 and 13, it says, who will pity a charmer that is bitten with a serpent or any such as come near wild beasts? There's no, I mean, you can't feel bad for these dumb people, man, that's going to simply go into these damn places, go into these places of worship, world changers, and the rest of these damn prosperity mouth preachers that clearly know. And they try to make it as if there's some sort of separation, that there's some sort of uh conspiratory thing under Moses. They always the Mosaic law, the Mosaic. Yeah, Moses delivered the law. Moses didn't create it and said, "Well, me and my tribe, we need to get 10% off of the people." Exodus 24 and 12 tells you that the commandments was given to Moses, written by the finger of the Most High. The Most High authored these laws. If the Levites had no inheritance, they had no land, no incomes coming in and whatnot. It was the people's job to support them. Now, last time that I checked, Joe Osteen is not a Levite. Last time I checked, Creflo is not a Levite. What's the other one? The big fat walrus guy. TD Fakes, you know, Bishop McClendon, all of these cats, man. Kirk Franklin. These are all charlatans. And that dude come out talking about, I never understood this. Then you're not qualified to be teaching, man. You should be sitting back down, man, sipping on the milk and learning from learned men of Israel who's going to reteach you the right way, man. That's what the scriptures say. Hebrews 5:12 on down. When you have need to be, this is what when he said that, this is the only thing that he should be getting back to. You humbled, you want to be taught again, then this is what he needs to do. But we know that wasn't the case. That's why the next week's sermon, he said, I'm doubling down from tithing to generous giving. Now I'm hitting him upside the head. And he said in that message, he said, I've been setting y'all up for 2 weeks now. Some of y'all know. And some of the people in there was like, yep, I knew some change was coming. Hebrews 5 and 12, for the time you ought to be teachers, you have need that one teach you again, which be the first principles of the oracles of the Most High, and are becoming such as have need of milk and not of strong meat. Man, if you didn't understand the simple law of tithing, you should have been sat down a long time ago. You, after 30 plus years of hustling these people, now you double back and say, I never fully understood this. But nigga, you made money from books, films, teachings, guest appearances, speaking engagements. You understood that much to make a come up. And now you double back and act like I've been humbled. I was wrong. I was teaching it the wrong way. It's not 10%, it's 40, it's 60, it's generous. I've been missing the point and shortchanging myself of real paper. Verse 13, for everyone that uses milk is unskillful in the word of righteousness, for he is a babe. Hey, Creflo, you are a damn babe. You had no business holding this word, man, at all. You just openly admitted it. But strong meat belongeth to them that are of full age, even those by whose reason of use have their senses exercised to discern both good and evil, man. That dude is a damn clown. a damn clown, man. And anybody that's following along with him, the Lord said, man, who's gonna pity a charmer when he gets bit by the snake? Anybody that's following after him, man, you deserve everything that you get. You still want to break yourself, man, go into debt, live under the fear of the church. He just said, man, fear is one of the things that that the church uses. Fear and guilt. And if you were still guilted into sliding in the damn Sunday service, making sure that you drop something in that plate, not just the first time it come around, the second time, the third time, man, you deserve everything that you get. Look at this. Isaiah 56:10 down 11. His watchmen are blind. They are all ignorant. They are all dumb dogs. They cannot bark, sleeping, lying down, loving to slumber. Here he is still talking about tithing and generous giving, and all friggin' hell is breaking loose in the earth, man. You ain't heard near word about no damn famines, pestilence, disease, war. You haven't heard anything about the injustices that's happening to our people, man. Standing up, being a pillar in the community in College Park, talking about the injustices that's happening to. Where is he at with all of that? He's doing none of the above, man. He can't bark. He can't sound no alarm. He doesn't understand no prophecies. All he knows is how to hustle you Negroes, man, out your damn money. His watchmen are blind. They are all ignorant. He just openly said, I'm ignorant to this fact. But was he? Was he? That's the question. They are all dumb dogs that cannot bark, sleeping, lying down, loving to slumber, man. All of this is going down in the earth, and the only thing he wants to talk about is how to get more money. Verse 11, yea, they are greedy dogs which can never have enough. I want to go from 10% to 40. How about that? And the ignorant Negroes in that damn crowd are sitting back clapping. Never have enough, and they are shepherds that cannot understand. Didn't he say that? I didn't understand until I got hit with the gospel of grace. Like you didn't know. You mean to tell me you've never taught that we're under grace and we're not under the law, Creflo? Don't make me go into the archives of your damn preachings. They all look to their own way, everyone for his gain from his quarter. So he's doubled down, man, and said, this is how I'm making my come up, man. Some of my other constituents may not like it. You know, I didn't expose some of the game. This dude is wicked as hell, man. Wicked as hell. Okay. Let me get over to this other scripture, man. This is what I want to preface today with. I want to preface today in Second Ezra. Before we get to this PowerPoint, man, I'm gonna put a move on it. Second Ezra 9. I didn't spend too much time talking about cash flow. We're gonna start at Second Ezra 9. We're gonna read one. This will kind of summarize a lot of the things that we're gonna cover today. All right. Let's start at verse 1. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs past which I have told thee before, then thou shalt understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. So, we've read this scripture time and time again, man, but repetition is the best way of learning. This is the best thing that we need to understand, is that we are in the times of the end when the highest are going to revisit this place. This is why we're seeing so much turmoil, so much things going on the earth right now. Things have never been this active globally. In my lifetime, I'm sure in yours, and I'm sure in our grandparents and our parents, we haven't seen this much activity at all, because times is not the same as they used to be, right? Verse 3, therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, we're going to see that, then thou shalt well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before, even from the beginning. For like as all that is made in the world hath a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest. So this is the things that we're out here seeing, the end being manifest. Okay. Let's drop down a little bit. Let's read. Let's start at verse 14. It says, then answered I and said, I have said before, now do speak, and will speak it also hereafter, that there be many more of them which perish than them which shall be saved. So in understanding and what the Lord said, well, the Lord said, even amongst the people, he said 2/3 of Israel is going to be cut off and die. Imagine what that means for the rest of the damn earth. We're going to see a lot more death than there are people that's going to actually be saved and delivered up out of here, man. Leave it to the damn bootleg crackheads in the church. They all think they're going to be saved. The more that you pack yourself and shove into them 5,000, 10,000 seat arenas, oh, we're all protected and saved. Those are the first places going to get destroyed. Because the Lord said judgment got to begin at the house of the Lord first. And these same people that's in here entertaining these charlatans, the Lord said, well, who's gonna pity you when you got bit by the snake? You got plenty of warnings, and you allow them to still bite you, poison you, and defile you. Bye, you're out of here. So the Lord is acknowledging that when it comes down to the visitation of the earth and everything that's going to be going down, we're going to see many people perish more than those which are saved, right? Like as a wave is greater than a drop. Can you imagine? A wave is the destroyed, and the drop is the saved. Verse 17, and he answered me, saying, like as the field is, so is also the seed, as the flowers be, such are the colors also, such as the workman is, such also is the work. And as the husbandman is himself, so is his husbandry also, for it is the time of the world. Verse 18, and now when I prepared the world which was not yet made, even for them that dwell in that now live, no man spake against me. So when the Most High created the earth, nobody came against him until sin entered the world and he was challenged by Eve and Adam, so forth and so on, right? Verse 19, for then everyone obeyed, but now the manners of them which are created in this world that is made are corrupted by a perpetual seed and by a law which is unsearchable, rid themselves. So now everybody is living under the laws of the world, following after carnality, disregarding the laws of the Most High. They've got all of their agents lined up telling you that the laws are done away with. We're under a better way. And they said the law is unsearchable, rid themselves. They can't even follow it their damn self. But now the manners of which are created in this world are corrupted. So now we're seeing, man, the whole earth is corrupted. Israel is corrupted and jacked up. No longer are we obeying the voice of the Most High God. This is why we have to revert back to our laws and our commandments, have to revert back to the righteousness of the Lord. Right? Verse 20. So I considered the world, and behold, there was peril because of the devices that were come into it. So now the devices of the world now are causing peril in the earth. So yeah, so you want to talk about universal basic income. You want to talk about the technology, the phones, the internet, everything else. You know, the internet, we've always said, is a gift and a curse. It's a gift because the outreach that you can get, the information that you can get, the knowledge and the wisdom that you can retrieve from it and redeem. But at the same time, there's backdoors of all kind of wickedness and abominations and folly and disinformation and everything else that you got to sift through in order to make it back up out of that damn matrix. So now, because of all the devices, and we know in 2 Corinthians 2 and 11, you know, it said that we can't be ignorant of Satan's devices, because all of the devices that cause the peril are come from satanic origins. I mean, you see everybody talking about CERN. You know, I'm not even going to deal on that too much, because, you know, the so-called white man, at what point in time has he never not been on a quest to try to be like the Most High? At what point in time has he never not been trying to seek into various realms of knowledge or understandings to try to, you know, set himself above everybody else? So he's, you know, trying to open up portals, and I'm not gonna say behind them portals all the demons is out there. They were already on the earth. The Most High is controlling all spirits, right? So there's no secret portal that demons and everything's gonna come out and everything's gonna walk. If that was the case, man, we would have had acknowledged that maybe 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, when everything really started going bad. You know, but he's trying to find secret knowledge. He wants the God particle. He wants to, you know, some say he's trying to find cosmologies to create a super weapon. Who knows? Who knows the mind of the damn devil, man? But these are all different devices, man, that are causing perils in the earth. Verse 21. And I saw and spared it greatly, and have kept me a grape of the cluster and a plant of a great people. Do you understand that? That the Most High said that And I saw and spared it greatly, and have kept me a grape of the cluster and a plant of a great people. So the chosen children of Israel is always going to be plucked out from these said perils. The children of Israel is always going to be the chosen, that's going to be pulled and separated from the rest of the evil vine, so to speak. Okay. Verse 22. Let the multitude perish then, which was born in vain. Then the Most High said, man, that all the nations unto him is nothing and like a drop in a bucket. So, you know, the Christians and everybody else that run around, well, what? Well, it ain't just about Israel. God created everybody. And God don't care about everybody. He just said, let the multitude perish. They were born in vain. The Lord always is only concerned with his children, his people. What are we doing? How well are we serving him? How much do we fear him? How well are we keeping these commandments? Are we showing our loyalty to him? If we can, and if we do, then we continue in our reign and rulership as being the chosen people of the earth, and the rest of the nations will follow suit. But the Lord said, man, what good is it having a multitude of wickedness, evil, idolaters, and wicked fornicators and so forth and so on? He said they was born in vain. Let them die. And let my grape be kept and my plant, for with great labor have I made it perfect. Do you understand? Verse 23, nevertheless, if thou wilt cease yet 7 more days, but thou shalt not fast in them. So I'm going to stop there, right? So we're seeing that the Most High is going to judge the earth. There's going to be uproars of the people, earthquakes. There's going to be judgment of the wicked. And at the end of the day, he's still acknowledging that that same cluster, that grape is still going to be saved. There's going to be a multitude that die because they was born in vain. Some people are just, you know, we always used to say that, you know, if this is the quote unquote script of this movie that we're living in, you got the good, the bad, and the ugly. We always say Israel's the good, Esau's the evil or the bad, and the rest of the nations are the uglies, you know. And they're all playing their role. Everybody's playing their role. But at the end of the day, man, there can only be one hero in this. Yahweh Shah is gonna be the hero, man, and he's gonna deliver his people. All right. So let's get to it. Let's get to it. Okay. Excuse me. So we talked about, and I'm sure everybody's seen, you know, what happened with the Georgia Guidestones, man. If you're not familiar with the Georgia Guidestones, there's plenty of information on the internet as we just got to speaking about. But this was a, you know, a big idolatrous, you know, place of I don't want to call it a temple, so to speak, but the way that they had it kind of situated, you know, this was a Masonic built temple, right? They called it America's Stonehenge. If you're familiar with Stonehenge over there in England, you know, this was a phenomenon that was built, I think, in 1980 or something like that. They believe some Masons built it. There's their own 10 Commandments that was written on it. It deals with population control. It deals with transhumanism. It deals with all kind of matters. It was translated into various languages. Let's just read a little bit of it. This is one of the temple, you know, the temple stones that, you know, Esau and the elite would live by, and left a hint for everybody to understand. So I think it was on Tuesday or uh, one of them got detonated. Somebody blew it up. And ironically, the next day they came with a demolition team and took everything down and tried to say, "Oh, it's to make sure that you know, for safety reasons." Very ironic, you know, that they had the demolition crew scheduled and ready to go the next day. Well, only a portion of it got destroyed, but all of a sudden, why not leave that for historic content? Why not just, you know, clean it up and leave the rest? But they made sure that it destroyed all evidence. Okay. Georgia Guidestone's explosion blast has destroyed a large portion of the monument, police say. So they even had it on video. They had a car that, you know, fled off the scene, um, and got up out of there. You see that they got the, you know, the explosion on video. How they do? I forgot what they said. They had the closed camera. I got the article that had the video on it, but I didn't, you know, utilize it today. But nonetheless, police in Georgia are investigating an explosion Wednesday targeting the Georgia Guidestones Monument, which the state says is known as American Stonehenge. The early morning blast destroyed a large portion of the structure in northeastern Elbert County, according to the Georgia Bureau of Investigation. The preliminary information indicates that the unknown individual was detonated an explosive device around 4 a.m. on Wednesday, July 6th. The agency said in a statement, known as American Stonehenge, the 19-foot high monument displays a 10-part message exposing the conservation of mankind and future generations in 12 languages. Interesting number. According to the description of the state Georgia's tourism website. Let's just look at some of what was on there. These are their 10 commandments, right? The message is considered as the new Ten Commandments for an age governed by reason. They read as follows. So already the so-called white man has listed and laid down the new Ten Commandments. You're going to leave off of the Bible. You're going to leave off of the laws of the Lord, and you're going to follow the ways of the so-called white man and his demonic possessed self. Right. Number one, maintain humanity under 500 million in a perpetual balance with nature. I think I remember bringing this out last year in the in one of the DSTMs, and I had the number wrong. I think Karatazai corrected me and said it was 500 million. I think I said 5 million or something like that, but 500 million. They said that humanity must be maintained under that. If right now we're over 7 billion, they want a maintained humanity of 500 million. So that means that 6.5 billion people have to go. Leave it to them. They said that's the only way that they can maintain balance and order. So, population control, right? Guide reproduction wisely, improve fitness and diversity. Hold on. Guide reproduction wisely. So, why are we talking about Roe versus Wade? Why are we keep talking about all of the sterilants in the water, the infertility drugs? Why we keep talking about all of these things? Because they're talking about, again, population control, creating or trying to control fertility, how reproduction, who can reproduce. See, unite humanity with a living new language. So now they want to institute a whole new Tower of Babel. You understand? Rule passion, faith, tradition, and all things with tempered reason. So listen, they want to make sure that your passion, your faith, your traditions are all ruled and tempered. Protect the people and nations with fair laws and just courts. Let all nations rule internally, resolving external disputes in a world court. So, a new world court. So, there's going to be a one world order where one ruling court judges all matters. Avoid petty laws and useless officials. Right. Get rid of governments. Everything should be under one government, one world order. Okay. Balance personal rights and social duties. Prize truth, beauty, love, seeking harmony with the infinite. Be not a cancer on the earth, leave room for nature. In other words, preserve the earth. We need to start working on these Green New Deals. We need to be working on how we can talk about conservation of the earth. Are these not all talking points, all things that are now prevalent in the earth right now? So here's a summary of what they're talking about. Sustainable development is not what they're talking about right now, with all the carbon talk, all of uh, the regulations that they're laying out for the energy, the power, everything else, right? A new Earth-based religion, world government, eugenics and transhumanism, and reducing the population by 80 to 90%. That was all what those stones were talking about, and they broke it down in every different language. They got Spanish, they got Arabic, they got Russian, English, 12 different languages, man. So whoever comes, 9 times out of 10, you'll be able to get it translated so that you can get the new world vision. Isaiah 19:1 says, "The burden of Egypt, behold, Yahweh rideth upon a swift cloud, and shall come into Egypt, and the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence, and the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it." See, the Most High is going to destroy all these damn idols. So be that as it may, whether it was who knows who blew it up, that's just fulfilling prophecy, man. The Most High said that he's going to move and he's going to destroy these particular idols that they got out there, man. White man's out here living by these rules. White man is out here trying to maintain a new world order, and the Most High said, "Let me go ahead and show you how that's gonna play out." All right, so that thing got destroyed. Putin says Russia is just starting in Ukraine, and peace talks will get harder. Imagine this. That's why I was saying before how long it is going to take for America to intervene on this war. If you just look at the history of World War II, World War One, it's going to take America a couple years before they get active, right? If they follow the same pattern that they followed in years past, right? Russia hasn't really put it on Ukraine yet. They out here light tapping them, telling them Just bow down. Don't make us really do what we need to do. So what are they doing? They start cutting off different ports. They're trying to cut off methods and ways that NATO and America is going to have trouble getting weapons and getting supplies and food and stuff like that to them. When they start cutting them off in those particular aspects, they're either going to have to come and surrender, or they're going to end up just getting bombed the hell out of Ukraine, right? So Putin is out here telling America, look, we're just getting started. They're only really like what? It started in what, February? They're really just entering the fifth month. Russia's prepared to go the long way with this thing. Ukraine is not. They're begging every month for more money, more weapons, more help. It's they and Slow Biden just came out and said Russia cannot win. We can't give them Ukraine. So that obviously tells you that if Putin pushes the button and says, you know what, the hell with it, man. Just start lighting Ukraine up. NATO and America is going to get involved. They have to. Look at this. President Vladimir Putin said on Thursday that Russia had barely got started in Ukraine and dared the West to try to defeat it on the battlefield, while insisting that Moscow was still open to the idea of peace talks. They had a whole video of him, and they was translating what he was saying. He was saying, "Look, if the West want to get busy on the battlefield, he said, let them try. We're ready for all the smoke." In Russian, he said that. No, he didn't say that literally, but he said that like, "Hey, if the U.S. wants to get it on, man, let them try." He said, "We just getting started. Like, we're ready." In a hawkish speech to the parliamentary leaders more than 4 months into the war, Putin said that the prospects for any negotiation would grow dimmer the longer the conflict dragged on. So, in other words, Putin is already acknowledging. He's saying, "Look, the longer this goes on, the less open I am to talk about peace. The longer this goes on, the less we can talk about peace." Right? Today, we hear that they want to defeat us on the battlefield. What can you say? Let them try. See that? We have heard many times that the West wants to fight us to the last Ukrainian. This is a tragedy for the Ukrainian people, but it seems that everything is heading towards us. So, in other words, he flipped the script and said, man, all the deaths that happened to the Ukrainians, blame it on the West, man, because they're the ones who pumped you up, put the battery on your back, making you feel as though you stand a chance against us. Now we got to go ahead and slaughter you, and they're not even going to jump in and help you. So imagine that. Let me get a scripture and let me teach for a hot second. One second. Psalms 1:4. No, 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 no. Psalms 120. And one more. Hold on. Let me get one more. I think I want Job. Job 6. No. Uh, hold on. Where's my scripture at? Job. Sluggy, y'all. Give me 1 second. I'm trying to find this other scripture that I want. Oh, Job 11:6. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Let's start here first. Job 11:6. All right, so look at this. It says, "And that he would show." Well, let's read 5. It said, "But oh, that the Most High would speak and open his lips against thee, and that he would show thee the secrets of wisdom, that they are double to that which is." So the Most High is acknowledging that the wisdom, the knowledge comes twofold. So many times we read scriptures, sometimes they're multifaceted, right? So wisdom can come in doubles, or it can come both sides. The scriptures also say that the word of the Most High is swift and sharper than any two-edged sword. So it cuts both ways, right? So, verse and finishing up verse 6, it says, "Know therefore that the Most High exacteth of thee less than thine iniquity deserveth." So, the point of the matter is understanding wisdom can be twofold. So, now let's look at Psalms and understand the manifold or the duality of this particular psalm, right? Psalms 120, and we're going to read 1 down to 4. It says, we're going to actually read 1 down to 5. Song of Degrees. In my distress, I cried unto the Most High Yahweh, and He heard me. Deliver my soul, O Yahweh, from lying lips and from a deceitful tongue. So this could happen. This is David But at the same time, this principle applies to many that find themselves in these particular situations, right? So if you're looking at the press, if you're looking at the rhetoric that Slow Biden and the rest of them are saying, all of this is Putin's fault, it's Putin's war, it's Putin's, but nobody's talking about the broken covenant that happened between NATO and Russia, that NATO was not going to embark on any territories or try to impose on any territories near the Russian border, which they broke and they lied and they went over there and they started opening up conversations with the Ukrainians, and Ukraine wanted to join NATO. They ultimately turned them down because of that same agreement. However, NATO is still funding and giving weapons to the Ukrainians. So the fact that NATO made that move, it put Russia on the defensive, and thus this is where we're at right now. So Russia bombed first. If you're from the streets, you ever been in the fight, you don't want to be the first one to get hit. I think even Tupac had a song called "Bomb First." So listen, Russia ain't did nothing but what they were supposed to do. So the scripture said, "Deliver my soul, Lord, from lying lips and from a deceitful tongue." So here they find themselves in that particular situation. What shall be given unto thee, or what shall be done unto thee, thou false tongue? What happens to the ones who lie? Sharp arrows of the mighty with coals of juniper. So when you're looking at these as metaphorical, you can look at them as how the judgments of the Lord work, but you can also look at it as how the Most High is utilizing particular weapons. So you've got sharp arrows with coals of juniper. Juniper is the juniper root, actually is a good burning source that provides fire, lights well, lights fast. So you've got arrows with fire on them that is flying through, causing judgment, right? And it says, "Woe is me that I sojourn in Meshach, that I dwell in the tents of Kedar." So destruction is going to come who dwells in Meshach and in the tents of Kedar. Well, where is Meshach? Let's look on the blue letter, right? It's a Strong's 4902 Meshach. It's the same as what you will read in Ezekiel 38, right? Look at this. Descendants of Meshach, often mentioned in connection with Tubal, Magog, remember them? And other nations, including the Moshi, a people of the borders of the Colchis and Armenia. Okay. So here they are talking about Meshach, a son of Japheth. Now, when you're looking at here you see Ezekiel 38. Son of man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, and prophesy against him. Many a scholar would translate Meshach into Moscow, right? So it said, "Woe unto them that dwell in those lands," right? Because fiery arrows is coming that way. Now, where was I at? Um, I just seen something. Hold on. Okay, so look at this. In Assyrian, on identification, compare Bach. In Assyrian times, this is on the lexicon. In Assyrian times, they dwelt in west or northwest Armenia, which is damn near in Russia. In Persian times, apparently farther northwest, southeast of the Euxine Sea. So walk with me over here. Okay. Now here's Moscow or Meshach. Here's Kiev, which is um Ukraine. These are the same areas that's being spoken of, right? Now that's of the Black Sea. Where's the Exene? I had another one up here. Let me see. Is that the one? No, that's bad. That's all bad. Salaki, y'all. Hold on. That ain't the one. Hold on. I'm trying to see where I had that other map at. Because um the Black Sea is essentially the Exene Sea. or XENC. So we're talking about in this particular area right here, right? So when we're going back over here to Psalms, it says, "Woe is me that I sojourn in Meshach, that I dwell in the tents of Kedar." So in other words, there's going to be a sharp judgment that's going to involve, metaphorically, missiles that's going to be landing over in these particular areas, because we're seeing that Meshach is in this particular area of the Xene Sea, which is pretty much the Black Sea, right? Where we're seeing this nation is involved, this nation is involved, all of them. You understand? Long story short, warfare is going to take place in this particular area, which we're seeing and understanding of being prophesied right now. Now, because of this war that's going on right now, we're going to see these other nations are going to be joining in. This is how we're seeing everything playing out. Look, verse 6. My soul have long dwelt with him that hateth peace. I am for peace, but when I speak, they are for war. So this is what he's talking about. He's saying basically, look, you want peace, but excuse me, it's gonna be long. You can't get it right now. Because the longer that you allow this war to drag on, the more that you keep on encouraging the Ukrainians, the more that you keep on telling everybody um, that it's my fault. He said the more we can just go ahead and get it on. I'm done playing games. Let's look at this in First Thessalonians 5:3. It says, "For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape." So Putin is already saying, the more that this drags on, the more hard it's going to resolve in peace. He said that he's open to the idea of peace talks. However, the West and NATO is making that impossible, because they keep on pushing and pushing and telling the Ukrainians, "You got this, you got this. We'll give you. You need more money. You need more weapons. You got it." And they out there getting beat down. They're getting small little victories here or there. Leave it to the press or whatever they're saying. But at the end of the day, you can tell that Putin now is losing patience. And that's why he said, we're just getting started. I haven't even really started turning up yet, but I'm getting ready to. And tell the West, if they want problems, let them try. So we're seeing that there's going to be warfare going on in those areas, thus saith the Lord. So this is all playing right into the hands of the Most High. Matthew 10:34. I'm gonna read that one too. Think not that I am come to send peace on earth. I've come not to send peace, but a sword. So there is no pray for Ukraine. There is no, in Jesus' name, we ask that this fighting and this war stop, and we can get the grain and get the fuel back, and everybody can get back to peace. No, Yahweh said he's not coming to send peace. So there is not going to be no peaceful negotiations that ends in this thing. That's not going down. Thus said the Lord. Christ said, I ain't come to stop this. I'm ready to come down there and exact his revenge. How long you think Yahweh wants to sit back and wait and wait and wait before he can actually get his revenge, man? He's getting impatient. He's like, look, no peace. I need to come down there so I can wreak havoc. I'm coming to send a sword. So the prayers of the churches and the prayers of the Ukrainians and everybody else and the Russians that's out here denouncing Russia, that does not matter. Everything is going according to plan. Putin stages nuclear drills with intercontinental missiles capable of hitting Britain after the former president warned a crisis could lead to the end of mankind. So he's still out here launching nuclear drills, getting his ICBMs ready. Britain is all in complete chaos and collapse over there right now because of their political infrastructure having problems. Right? Russia's sitting nice, man. They making negotiations for with Brazil, India, China, South Africa. I think they just negotiated with Iran. They're all lining up in what they call the BRICS. They're all lining up, creating a new financial system, creating ties economically. War. They're already moving right. The rest of the nations, the NATO, is the ones scrambling around trying to get their act together. So he's out here charging up nuclear drills, man, and already said that Britain It's talking about this could be the end of the world. Well, tell us something that we don't know. That's what we're talking about. World War III, the end of Esau's world and the beginning of it that follow it. The children of Jacob and the kingdom of Christ. Right? So Vladimir Putin staged nuclear drills with his road-launched intercontinental Yars missiles in the forest in western Siberia. The 7,500-mile range of the missiles means they would be capable of striking Britain or anywhere in Europe. The test comes just hours after Russia's former president and current head of the Security Council, Dmitry Medvedev, whatever. Medvedev. Okay, there we go. Medvedev issued the Kremlin's nuclear threat, warning of the end of the existence of mankind, and Moscow was punished for war crimes. So they ready to go all out. Japan, former prime minister, man, he got assassinated. Uh, I think this was Thursday or Friday. Thursday or Friday, man. This dude was, you know, a so-called patriot, beloved of his people, man. I mean, this is the type of time, this is the climate that we in, man. As we're gonna see, political infrastructures are collapsing. This is the second assassination that we've had of a world leader in the last year. Remember the president of Haiti? He got assassinated. Now we got Japan's Shinzo Abe, or maybe I should say right, Shinzo Abe. So what again? Let me leave him alone. So he got assassinated, man. And this only goes to show you too, regarding the laws of gun restriction, man. Japan damn near has a no gun policy at all. The cat that killed him, man, he made a gun in the house, and he had explosives and all kind of other matters, man. So you can't lay out no law saying gun restrict the guns, limit the Second Amendment. All guns are still gonna find their way into the hands of whoever wants them, needs them, is gonna, they're gonna get them. It's just gonna be taken out of the hands of those that need them to protect themselves and their households and their families. So Minister Shinzo Abe was assassinated yesterday. Look at it. Leaders around the world condemned the assassination of the former Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe on Friday as, quote, despicable, cowardly, and terrorism, while recalling him as a man devoted to peace, security, and international cooperation. Well, they can't have him in the mix then, huh? If he wanted peace, security, international cooperation, you're out of here because you're not part of the NWO. You don't want to push the same agenda. So you can step to the side, Shinzo. Tributes poured in as governments expressed sorrow and solidarity with Japan over the loss of Abe, who was Japan's longest-serving leader before stepping down in 2020 for health reasons. Abe, 67, was shot from behind in Nara in western Japan while giving a campaign speech. He was airlifted to a hospital and later pronounced dead. The attack was especially shocking in one of the world's safest countries where guns are strictly controlled. U.S. President Slow Biden said he was stunned, outraged, and deeply saddened. He visited the resident of Japan of Japan's ambassador to the U.S. on Friday to offer condolences. He placed a bouquet of flowers on the table, set up near the koi pond, and wrote in a condolence book that Abe was a, quote, man of peace and judgment. Isn't that nice? Slow Biden went and made a little guest appearance. Look at this. Brazil is at risk of unrest more severe than January 6th. U.S. riots warns elections chief. So we talked about uproars of the people. Look at this. I looked this up on one of Esau's damn global websites, man. The Carnegie Endowment, man. This is another damn NWO inspired organization. Let's just look in January. Let's just look in 2022. These are the protests. Let me be clear. This is the protests. They've have what they call a protest tracker, the Carnegie Endowment for International Peace. Okay. Global protest tracker. They've had over 230 significant anti-government protests have erupted worldwide. More than 110 countries have experienced significant protests. 78% of authoritarian or authoritarian-leaning countries have faced significant protests. Okay, so let's get down here to, let's just look at this year alone. Because we just got through seeing multiple protests, multiple outrages, and uproars of the people happening all throughout the earth, right? So I tried to tell them I want the cookies, and now they messing around. Let me get down to 2022. Let me just get to this year alone. Okay. Let's start right here. India, January 2022, a hijab protest that lasted 2 months. Iran, public sector employees protest. Another one in January. Kazakhstan, fuel prices. Belarus, anti-war. Montenegro, minority government protests. Morocco, rise of cost of living protests. That's just within January and February. Russia, Ukraine invasion protests. Cameroon, women's empowerment protests. Chile, student stipend protests. India, economic protests. Pakistan, Spain, for rising price protests. Sri Lanka, economic crisis protests. Argentina, economic. Greece, economic. Peru, rising prices. United Kingdom, rising prices. You see a pattern here? All over the world, man, people are starving. They're fighting. They don't have the means economically to survive. Rising prices. There's uproars and protests of the people all throughout the world. Spain, Sri Lanka, Argentina, Greece, Peru, the UK. Look, Croatia, abortion access protest. Indonesia, Iran. Let's look at where else we talking about. Ecuador, rising prices. India, military reform. Netherlands, farmer protests. So that's just from January to June. 6 months. We've had multiple nations protesting, many of which are protesting because of opposition to the government. It's either economic or political, or there's some sort of corruption in the midst. Okay. So when we're seeing stuff like this in Brazil is at risk of unrest more severe than the January 6th riots, well, we seen what happened in January 6th. So here they are preparing Brazil for ultimate uproars of the people, rising up, tumults and destruction happening in Japan. I mean, in Brazil, if things don't go right. Okay, so let's keep an eye on what happens in Brazil. Argentina, turmoil sparks panic buying and price hikes. So Argentina's having issues down there. This is what we're seeing. That's why I said we're going to see more of this happening all throughout the earth. Third world countries, lesser economic countries, they're going to feel the pain and the pinch before we do. America's propped up like the goose with the golden egg. And when them eggs start cracking, you ain't got no foundation to sit on no more. You can't sit atop of the nations in the midst of the waters, like it says in Revelation 17. The horse sitting on the on great waters, you ain't gonna be propped up no more. A political crisis in inflation ravaged Argentina that was sparked by the economy's minister's resignation has spooked markets and generated fears, resulting in panic buying and hasty price hikes as the informal exchange rate soars. So we're seeing multiple resignations of political officials that's been happening throughout the world. Hell, the Prime Minister of the UK, Boris Johnson, he just retired. I mean, he just had to resign because of corruption and infighting happening within his own party. Same thing going down in Argentina. People out there panic buying. Got to. All right, I'm gonna keep going, but I'm telling y'all, man, Israel, you got to get ready. Every day is like going out to hunt a lion. Luis Sacco told AFP in front of his electronics store in the capital of Buenos Aires. Since Monday, prices have risen dramatically at shops and businesses across the country. On Saturday, Economic Minister Martin Guzman resigned following months of pressure from inside President um, Alberto Fernandez center-left Frente de Todos governing coalition. Okay. Guzman was the chief negotiator in Argentina's haggling with the International Monetary Fund to restructure a $44 billion debt. If anybody remembers, I've been talking about this for years on end. If you haven't, if you're new to the channel, you don't know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about Oliver Stone's documentary called South of the Border. And it's basically talking about how the International Monetary Fund, the IMF, colonizes and oppresses South and Central American countries through loans that they can't pay back, and it only gives Esau more power to control those countries. Argentina is one of them, and this is why they out here talking about they were failing to restructure a $44 billion debt that they have with the IMF. Okay, so now we're seeing why price hikes is going up. The haves and the have-nots are going to be more exposed and more open to seeing what happens when you don't make good with the so-called white man. UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson resigns after mutiny in his own party. So we just talked about that. That's big. We're seeing multiple government leaders, man. One getting assassinated. Another two just got through resigning. What's going on in the earth, man? What's happening to the to the leadership? Is there problems within the NWO, or are we just looking at the new regime getting rid of dead weight so that they can implement new people coming in? Okay, let's look at this. Four cabinet ministers resign in Ecuador following indigenous-led protests. Now look at this. You got more resignations happening in Ecuador, but look at the president. Can y'all see this picture? First of all, the dude look like he's a tranny, but does he look like he's indigenous to Ecuador? President Lasso? Maybe I should find a better picture. I don't know. If y'all can see that picture, let me know. Could y'all see that dude? Let me look at this. Hold on. This is what I'm saying when you're talking about the damn look at him. He's the president of Ecuador. And the indigenous tribes are actually protesting against him and getting rid of him, right? Uh Now if you want to see, let's see what they let's see here. Hold on. This is what I'm saying. Like the IMF, they'll throw in some Spaniards, they'll throw in somebody else to run the country. And these are Ecuadorians, man, straight out the damn jungles. But if you're looking at look at them here. He clearly don't look like he fits the mold, man. They got the fringe on their blankets or whatnot. Uh, brown skin. That dude don't look like he belong there, man. Show me your papers. You know, see sisters like this, man. Dark lips, dark face, wide nose. I mean, these are more what the indigenous peoples of Ecuador look like, man. This dude, where is he at? Lasso. Hello, please. Somebody explain. So he's got people fleeing from his cabinet as indigenous led protests are out there, man. So he's having problems too. He's accepted the resignation of four cabinet ministers in the latest fallout from last month's indigenous led protests decrying Lasso's economic policies. The IMF throws in these puppet leaders, man, these Spaniard puppet leaders that impose and oppress the people, man. And now the indigenous population. I think Ecuador, when you watch, if anybody's seen that documentary, when you first watch it, I think Ecuador got its first indigenous president like in the early 2000s. The first native indigenous person that got a presidency like in like 2000, man. The rest was all ran by damn Spaniard Edomites that was all implanted in there. So again, we're seeing more protests, more collapsings of governments throughout the world. Putin in Ukraine, Russia has barely started its action. We read that already. Look at this one. Now, On the front of famine, food shortages, so forth and so on, one of the things that we haven't really discussed or considered is actually the feeds and the hays that actually feed the livestock, that feed the lamb, the goat, I mean the cows, right? That's even coming up short. So if you can't provide food for the actual livestock, there's definitely going to be a shortage on those fronts. So this is from agriculture. I think it's called agriculture.com or something. It's an agricultural website, right? That tracks the situations of agriculture. So livestock producers report being just days away from running out of feed due to shipping rail issues. There's viral videos that's going on with truckers that are all talking about. Now they don't name the particular companies that they're either trucking for, but all of them are talking about the uh, the the loads is coming up short. They don't have them. There was one I seen one dude left a comment. He said that he works for a meat packing plant or a frozen food pack plant or something like that. And he said that they used to have buku overtime. Now they have no overtime. The work is coming up short. People are getting laid off at his job. So we're talking about truckers that are all making particular videos saying how they're visiting to their spots where they're actually going to make and get their drops, and people in there are telling them, "Hey, we getting laid off. Oh, it's slow." And people are actually going up to go get their drops and coming back saying we couldn't even bring nothing back because they didn't get the supplies coming in that they were supposed to pick up and take back down to whatever said city or state that they were supposed to go to. So now livestock producers are saying that they are running out of feed for their animals in just days. So I'm not going to lay it out on the line and prophesy and say, man, within the next 2 months, it's not going to be no food. Let's just say before the end of the year, the fact of the cost of living or the cost of food is where it's at now. I believe it's going to be even worse, and it's going to be um, of less things that we can actually purchase, man. Some things you're not even gonna be able to find no more. But I've covered the story where they in the UK and in other countries, man, they're locking up certain valuables. You seen? I don't know if y'all seen on Wednesday. They got the locks on the meat. They got locks on the cheese. You got to get somebody in the store because they're dealing with people coming in stealing food, and that's just the beginning. So look at this. Rail bottlenecks in the U.S. are not improving, and in some cases, growing more severe. Feed users in California and Southwest are having issues sourcing grain, with some reporting they are paying $3 over the CBOT price to secure grain by truck. Not only are feed users on the brink of running out of grain, but there are also concerns the rail issues could grow worse during the harvest this fall. The National Grain and Feed Association says their members have been seeing issues since late winter and early spring, which then caused the Surface Transportation Board to hold a hearing in August. While the industry thought the issues would improve by summer, labor issues are not getting better. And notice it said that they've been seeing these issues since the wintertime. But leave it to slow Biden. Oh, it's Putin's fault. Putin. Winter is from damn near what? October all the way to February, March. So you talking 3 months before that, and we all know he's a damn liar. But we've been seeing and experiencing the food shortages, and it's only getting worse and worse. Now the grains and actually are coming up short to where the animals ain't even getting that feed. You seen the 3,000 cows somehow mysteriously rolled over and gave up the ghost. Food prices squeeze the poorest in rich countries. Some 44% of adults polled in the UK recently said they were buying less food as the cost pain spreads beyond less developed nations. So if you're talking about developed nations like the UK and the people already over there are skimming off of their grocery budget list and can't buy and can't provide the same amount of food that they normally used to be able to 44% of the people is already saying we're scaling back. Imagine for those that's in third world countries in the Middle East, Africa, South Central America, in the hoods, in the US. Imagine where that's at. Don't let we always said, man, don't let the white man start putting and regulating EBT and SNAP. When them benefit, when they pop up and they say, look, because of the economic reason, because of more and more people needing these benefits, we need to reduce yours. Oh, all hell is really gonna break loose, man. Rampant food inflation is roiling the world's least developed nations. It is also hitting poor people in rich countries. Master Trellin Norge, a food bank operator in oil-rich Norway, says it is distributing 30% more food compared with the same period in 2021, a year that in itself saw sharply higher demand because of the DVOG-91 pandemic. Food bank usage is on the rise in the U.S. too, while grocery store report customers there are trading down, buying more store brand food and avoiding more expensive meat and fish. Look at this. The UN, they even reporting this. The UN says 2.3 billion people severely or moderately will go hungry. And they said that in 2021. Look at this. Looking like this is looking like the new age Great Depression photos. Of course they want to show some little rosy red cheek Edomite kid to tug on your heartstrings. Look, the spike in food, fuel, and fertilizer prices sparked by the war in Ukraine is threatening to push countries around the world into famine, bringing, quote, global destabilization, starvation, and mass migration on an unprecedented scale, a top UN official warned on Wednesday. Destabilization, starvation, mass migration at an unprecedented scale. Well, didn't they just say that they want 85 to 90% of the population to get out of here? According to the Georgia Guidestones? David Beasley, head of the UN World Food Program, said at latest analysis shows that a record 345 million acutely hungry people are marching to the brink of starvation. 345 million people are acutely hungry and marching towards the brink of Starvation. How many people are in the U.S.? Isn't that damn near the U.S. total population? Can you imagine everybody in the U.S. starving? Let's just look at that real quick, because I know they always say it's over 300 million people in the U.S. Let's look at this. So they're saying 331 as of 2020, 331 million. So that's less. So let's just say that was 20. Okay, here they got 20 United States population 2022. They're at 329 million. Okay. So that means that the death toll done kicked in since 2022. I mean, since 2020. All right. So let's just say, give or take, 329 million people. According to the UN, this is just numbers worldwide, right? But to put it in more perspective, 345 million people currently right now are acutely hungry and on the brink of starvation. So you might as well figure everybody in America, and we can throw in, you know, a few small islands that's got maybe a population of 5 to 10 million just to balance it out. Because if we're talking 329, we still got room for another 15 million. So let's throw in Jamaica, let's throw in Puerto Rico, let's throw in Trinidad, Tobago. That should give us another 15 million. Everybody in Babylon is starving. That's pretty much how we got to look at it right now. A 25% increase from the 276 million at the start of 2022 before Russia invaded Ukraine on February 24th. The number stood at 135 million before the DVOG 91 pandemic in 2020. There's a real danger. It will climb even higher in the months ahead. Even more worrying is that when this group is broken down, a staggering 50 million people in 45 countries are just one step away from famine. But we've seen them scriptures and talked about this particular prophecy ad nauseum, have we not? We talking about down there 400 million people or more is facing famine, starvation, and death before the end of the year. Look at them. Famine threatens wide swaths of world now worsened by the Ukrainian war. So they're gonna acknowledging what's going on, especially hitting the Hamites over there. Let's look at this real quick. It says the scenes witnessed by journalists and humanitarian workers in recent months have been striking. In Sudan, swollen belly babies are looking for anything to eat. In Yemen, where warring parties have blocked humanitarian aid, hollow-eyed children and their mothers languish on the brink of death from starvation. In Ukraine, the elderly are collecting rancid rain runoff for drinking water. You know, this within the next few years, according to the judgments of the Lord, this could be a scene of a family in Watts or Compton or Southside Chicago or Queens, New York, or maybe Bankhead, um, um, Georgia, Atlanta. You understand? That's where we're talking about this whole thing going. Malnourishment and hunger were big problems even before Russia invaded Ukraine in February and cut off Europe's breadbasket from its markets, sparking a flurry of dire warnings and the world's food supplies. And remember, I just covered an article on Monday, I believe it was, where Slow Biden said this is going to go on for as long as it takes. As long as it takes. What? To reduce the population? To, maximize the death toll? Until everybody bows down and says, what's the next phase? Oh, you need to be a part of the beast system? We need to comply. I mean, what's he talking about? As long as it takes. Look at this. The causes are myriad: drought and flooding, and the interpretation of supply chains triggered by the DVOC 91 pandemic, especially in China. An estimated 20 wars or conflicts. Remember, wars, rumors of wars. We're only talking about Russia and Ukraine, but there's multiple wars. I've made mention of multiple wars going on in the earth. There's at least 20 going on currently right now. The latest in Ukraine have also seriously disrupted access to food and water. The current food security challenge that we're facing due to these three C's: climate, DVOC, and conflict, said Ramin Toloi, Assistant Secretary of State for Economic Affairs, one of several Biden administration officials tasked to food security issues. So, make no mistake about it, man. The famine, disease is gonna follow after that, man. It's all here. Look, here's from the UN. Just a headline for them. The Horn of Africa braces for explosion of child deaths as hunger crisis deepens. Well, didn't we just get to reading before? The Most High said, man, if they die, let them die. I know it sounds harsh, but I'm telling you what the Lord said. He said that they was created in vain. And we talking about most of these are Hamitic nations anyway. So be it far from me to shed a tear after what they, partook in, and them being our enemies, right? But this is how it's going. This is how it's playing out in the earth. Dutch farmers are protesting and blocking supermarket distribution centers. So we just got to talking about how the Netherlands, they're out there protesting right now. They're being regulated because they're being told that they have to reduce their livestock. Here we are talking about this. Look, all of this particular starvation, and the Netherlands are being told that they have to reduce livestock, meaning less meat, less food. What are they up to? Dutch farmers angered by government plans that may require them to use less fertilizer. Are we already dealing with a fertilizer shortage? Are we already dealing with overpriced fertilizer that's going to impact the crops? That's going to impact them being able to sell fertilizer that comes from their cows and comes from their livestock? The government's saying less fertilizer, man. They're trying to impose this starvation. Hint, hint. So they can impose with the new diet. They can impose with, Just go and look at the lesson I did called Death on the Plate, man. I talked about all of this stuff and their alternative plans. Go watch the movie Soylent Green. It's an old movie, kind of corny, but the principles and the objectives that they show in there, powerful. All what we talking about right now. Use less fertilizer and reduce livestock began a day of protest in the Netherlands on Monday by blocking supermarket distribution hubs in several cities. Look at this. Reductions are necessary in emissions of nitrogen oxides from farm animal manure and from the use of ammonia in fertilizers. The government says estimating a 30% reduction in the number of livestock is needed. So they're saying that they have to reduce their livestock by 30%. That obviously going to take money out their pockets. It's going to take food out of people's mouths. And they're saying it's all because of the poop is letting out too many nitrogen oxide emissions, and the ammonia that's being used in the fertilizer is harming the earth. So what good is the earth if there's no people to populate it, man? Just think about that. So they're saying 30% of their livestock needs to be removed. And that number is going to continually go up as the years progress. This is where they want to start at. So if you got 10 cows, 3 of them got to go. And then next year, by 2025, they're saying 50%. Or we're getting close to our 2030 goal, 70%. And you're saying, well, I can't survive like that, man. I'm dead. My farm is done. You done killed off all my livestock. What am I supposed to do? Oh, you're going to eat impossible meats now. You're going to eat fake beef, fake meat, fake vegetables. You're going to eat bugs. You're going to eat poop burgers. All of that stuff. Look, for our coffee drinkers out there, worldwide coffee bean shortages and rising fuel prices hit cafes hard with price spikes here to stay. There's coffee shortages going on now, right? That's happening. Oil from the U.S. reserve were sent overseas as gasoline prices stay high. Look at that. Slow Biden is taking them oil reserves and he's slanging them overseas. But meanwhile, over here, how's your gas is looking? How's your gas prices looking? So you trying to tell me that this isn't an organized collapse, man? Didn't Slow Biden say, I'm going to do everything I can to bring the prices down? He went out there and told the gas stations, reduce the prices now. Quit being greedy. And he's taking oil from here, sending it overseas. He's shutting down permits for anybody for oil mining companies to go out and retrieve oil. I mean, this dude is a straight maniac, man. More than 5 million barrels of oil that were part of a historic U.S. emergency reserves released to lower domestic fuel prices were exported to Europe and Asia last month. And you know who got some of that? China. I thought they had problems with China. China got some of that oil. Europe and Asia last month, according to data and sources, even as U.S. gasoline and diesel prices hit record highs. The export of crude and fuel is blunting the impact of the moves U.S. President Joe Biden to lower record pump prices. Biden on Saturday renewed a call for gasoline suppliers to cut their prices, drawing criticism from Amazon Jeff Bezos. So, is he really trying to cut them prices, or are they trying to squeeze you and me out and helping his buddies overseas who he got money from through his crackhead son? Yeah, he got money from Ukraine. He got money from China. He got to pay back. Politics is dirty, man. Slow Biden and his family is wicked as hell. Oh, any surprises here? It ain't just Mardi Gras going on in New Orleans. FBI opens up a sweeping probe of clergy sex abuse in New Orleans. Catholic Church up to their old tricks, man. Now the FBI is on their heads. So let's see what happens with that. Let's see if there's any arrests. Let's see if any of these cathedrals are shut down. No, they're not going to be shut down. The FBI has opened a widening investigation into sex abuse in the Roman Catholic Church in New Orleans going back decades. A rare federal foray into such cases, looking specifically at whether priests took children across state lines to molest them. If anybody's still captivated by the Catholic Church, man. Slit your wrist now. Now. I mean, good Lord, man. How many of these stories did you got to read? How many of these reports do we have to see? And look, we're not even talking about the history of the Catholic Church and their iniquities. This is present day stuff. I mean, this is what they were rooted. This is the roots of the foundation of this damn doctrine in this church. And now you're seeing it still playing out in 2022. And our black and Hispanic, and I said it, black, there are black Catholics out there, have found themselves still captivated by Papa. Unbelievable. Taking children across state lines to molest them. More than a dozen alleged abuse victims have been interviewed this year as part of the probe that's exploring, among other charges, whether predator priests can be prosecuted under the Mann Act, a more than a century-old anti-sex trafficking law that prohibits taking anyone across state lines for illicit sex. So if you leave it to the R. Kelly judgment, man, a lot of these priests should be getting 30 years. Let's see if any of them catch it. Some of the New Orleans cases under review allege abuse by clergy during trips to Mississippi camps or amusement parks in Texas and Florida. And while some claims are decades old, Mann Act violations notably have no statute of limitations. So there's no limits to how far back it was. Let's see if any of these priests go under. I'm going to be watching. Ezekiel 7:26. Mischief shall come upon mischief, and rumor shall be upon rumor. So we're seeing mischief upon mischief. This is what happens when the Most High deals with and judges the wicked. This happens with Israel. This happens with all the nations. This is what happens when we need to look at and see, well, where is the roots of this wickedness? If we're seeing it here within this particular religious dogma church and all of its constituents all worldwide, mischief is always coming upon mischief with them. The only one that I think might have them beat is the Boy Scouts. They got hit with a damn $1 billion lawsuit or something like that with all of the damn sexual deviousness that was going on with them. They had to file bankruptcy, I believe. Mischief shall come upon mischief, and rumor shall be upon rumor. Then shall they seek a vision of the prophet, but the law shall perish from the priest and counsel from the ancients. So they won't have any answers scripturally, prophetically, anything to provide to the people when it comes down to these things, man. They shut down. Unbelievable. The army's cut. They made their move. We talked about this last week. Army cuts off more than 60,000 unjabbed guards and reserve soldiers from pay and benefits. So, they deadline them passed. They didn't comply with the mandates. Now they cut off the money of 60,000. 60,000. And the U.S. is getting ready to go to war sometime in the future. You think that they can afford to lose 60,000? And they talking about recruiting is low right now. A lot of the new recruits, little 18-year-olds or not, they can't pass the physical standards because they've been sitting down playing video games and got beer bellies at 15. Yeah, not happening. America is doomed, man. So you see how they moving. This is what happens when you commit yourself to the beast. They don't give a damn about what you did, what you're doing now. It's what have you done for me lately? And the beast says, roll up that sleeve. If you don't follow along with it, no matter how many lives you done saved, how many hours you done dedicated to your training, how much you've been there for your quote unquote nation, you still are not of your own. You signed paperwork that said that you now are owned by the state. Uncle Sam owns you. And now when you want out, you get penalized for it, man. Soldiers who refuse the inoculation order without an approved or pending exemption request are subject to adverse administration actions, including flags, bars to service, and official reprimands. Be all that you can be, huh? Yo, Joe. Good Lord, man. 60,000 cut off. Good old America, man. Here we go. The new ninja. Esau's always got these damn names, man. The ninjas out there. The new Ninja variant is the most dangerous one yet. How many times we've heard that one? Didn't I just show the comparison when Slow Biden said I need $1 billion to pay Bill Gates because Bill Gates said you ain't seen nothing yet. The big one, the dangerous ones is coming. So Slow Biden got extorted real quick, and now they got it. The Ninja, the latest subvariant of the novel CV to become dominant in Europe, the United States, and other places, is also in many ways the worst so far. I mean, you can't get away from this thing. You think you back to normal. New York just got through laying down their they didn't make it a mandate, but they said they put recommendations back for everybody to put their mask back on. They've been talking about California throwing back the mask for indoors since last month. They keep saying with the hospitalizations, they keep going up. You got to throw that mask back on. So as of last week, I heard on the news they were saying that they were looking at bringing the mask back again. Well, hey, I've been saying that for a while now. Don't be surprised if you get a flashback of the last year and a half. And if that happens, this thing is really gonna go down the drain. As my elder Rashad always said, man, you gotta look at the drain when you get out the tub, man, and you start seeing that whirlpool sucking down that water. It's gonna really start being more evident, more visible. When you got a full tank, I mean a full tub, you can't see the water being pulled down and swirling out. But the lower it gets, the faster you start seeing it and it becomes more visible. That's where we are right now. You're gonna see that really happen if they make us relive the last 2 years again from scratch. You know what I'm talking about? Oh, it's really gonna get wild. Um, so the ninjas here. I'm not gonna read too much of the article for time's sake, but uh, they're still pushing this thing. Hold on. Um, okay, I guess I'll wait a little bit because I want to bring out this point. The BA.5 subvariant of the basic okra variant appears to be more contagious than any of the previous forms of the virus. It's apparently better at dodging our antibodies too, meaning it might be more likely to cause breakthrough and repeat infections. Well, isn't that what happened to Fauci? I mean, Fauci then got hit up 4 times, and he's still getting rebounds like he's out on the court. And his last rebound, they said, is worse than he's ever experienced. Notice he's been quiet. Where has he been at? Or maybe he's down under, but maybe not far enough. We need him 6 feet, but that's another story. Vaccines and boosters are still the best defense. Wink, 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 wink. How many times have we read that this new thing is resistant to the said recommendations? But they're still pushing that narrative. I mean, no wonder why the Army Reserves and the National Guard said no. They're reading and they're seeing the same things that we're bringing out. They're seeing all of these damn Republicans and government officials still getting it after getting poked. They're seeing all of these particular aspects that's not really showing a difference maker with this thing. And they're saying there's something else is going on. We are seeing an increase of deaths for other reasons than the DVOC. I brought those articles out. We are seeing that a common thread that a lot of people are experiencing particular health issues is because they follow protocol. Wink, wink. You know what I'm talking about. So, look, let's stop the games. There are even okra specific booster jabs in development that in coming months. Oh, in development. They still got some new stuff coming, y'all. In coming months and could make the best inoculations more effective. And its genetic cousins, man. So the ninja, they're already bubbling up a new formula uh, for you faithfuls in the protocols to go ahead and roll up. Aren't you happy? Are you ready? Get ready because they got a new one coming. Viral threat, monkeypox. Patients complain of the worst pain of their life as the WHO have an emergency meeting. They're still having more emergency meetings over this monkeypox. Is there 1 minute they're saying don't worry about it, next minute they're saying oh it's just the sodomites. Now they're having World Health Organizations. Well, who set the protocols when the DVOC 91 hit? WHO, the CDC. They took control. Same scenario. Wait for the mpox to hit. Lesions, headaches, debilitating pain. Gay men with monkeypox share their stories. Oh, should we shed a tear for the sodomites, y'all? Should we have a memorial for them and their pains that they're going through? I mean, it was Pride Month. I mean, why not? This is what happens when you want to celebrate your pride. Hey, all praise to the Most High, man. Let the sodomites get some of that pain. Maybe it's gonna make some of the Israelites repent. You think? You think they're gonna change? Look, New York said that they just got to open it up. Remember, they had to shut down because they were overwhelmed with people trying to come get they mpox inoculation. They had to shut down. Too many of them. Now they just reopened up and they said that they were servicing to sodomite men, homosexual men who had multiple partners. Them first. Oh, see, now I got to pull that one up. Uh, let me see if this is the one. Give me 1 second, y'all. Let me show y'all. See, look at this. Anyone can get and spread monkeypox, but most cases in the current outbreak are among gay and bisexual men who have sex with men. Okay? Well, you get everything you deserve. The city's health department said in a statement, adding, men who have sex or other intimate contact with men they met through dating apps or social media platforms or at clubs, raves, sex parties, saunas, or other large gatherings may be at higher risk of having been recently exposed. I mean, do you understand the debauchery, man, and the damn lascivious spirit that comes along with being a damn sodomite? They run around here and act like, oh, it's a sexual, it's my orientation. I was born this way. Yeah. But hold on. Who's telling you to do all of this though? Who's telling you to carry out in this particular form of culture? Going out, being lascivious, being carrying on with multiple partners, dating apps, social media, clubs, raves, sex party, saunas, gay what do they call them? Gay bathhouses. I mean, this is all the madness that they into. That's what comes along with being a damn sodomite. It ain't just about, oh, you laying with mankind. Yeah, you should be put to death just off of that alone. But you go above and beyond the call of duty, racking up your body count, man, going to these environments that encourage you to go out there and defile yourself even more. And now the Most High is coming back, smacking you on them cheeks. Say, hey, you like that? Oh, okay, we'll take this mpox with you then. See, this ain't the article that I wanted. Look at this guy. I'm trying to find the one. They said, man, they was trying to give them to men with multiple partners first. Damn it. Where was that one at? I can't find that one. I don't want to take too much time. But you see, man, the sodomites is on the loose, man. The Most High is striking their asses down. Um, Man, they said there was one doesn't line up. Yeah, here it go. Oh, just about to give up. Dozens of people line up for the Mpox jab in NYC as it offers the shot to gay and bisexual men with what? Multiple partners. As U.S. tally now top 700 cases. So this just shows you, man, the lascivious nature of the sodomites, man, and what they into, man. It said that they have to be the first ones to get is the ones who's out there with multiple partners, and they want these rights to be defended. They want people to stand up for them. Man. Get out of here. Get out of here, man. Take every lesion and headache and debilitating pain with you. Good Lord. Fears over the new outbreak of one of the world's deadliest diseases in Africa. So here's another plague. So not only are we talking about the DVOC, not only are we talking about the monkeypox, not only are we talking about, um, dang, we just talked about two last week. Golly, I forgot the names of the other ones. But here they talking about the Marburg virus. We had the one that was in the melons, begins with an L. It was coming through the foods. There was something else. I mean, smallpox, hepatitis. I mean, come on. Now we're talking about the Marburg virus that causes 90% of patients to bleed to death from their nose, mouth, and eyes. Nose, mouth, and eyes. Good Lord. Most eyes, no joke, man. Who wants that? A deadly cousin of Ebola, Marburg virus can kill between a quarter and 90% of the people it infects. International travelers taking it from Africa to Europe twice in the past 40 years. So now that's being, unleashed. And don't let the so-called white man get a hold of this, bottle this up, and create a biological weapon out of this. Wow. So another plague has been unleashed. We read about all the plagues that's been unleashed in 2nd Ezra 16. Canada caught some hell yesterday. I'm not sure if they're back online. They might be by now. But yesterday, nationwide Canada outage of all credit and debit cards. The B system had a failure, or did it? The B system had a failure, or did it? See, when you get everybody entrapped and encapsulated into this particular system, one of the ways that they can test to see the reaction of the people, to see how crisis management can work, turn it off and let's see what happens. Nationwide Canada outage of all credit and debit cards. As of 9:35 a.m. Eastern Friday, reports are now flooding in that all credit and debit card processing in Canada is offline. Also receiving reports that numerous cell phone carriers are suffering service outages nationwide. Okay. I remember giving y'all some wisdom, maybe last year, could have been earlier this year. Can't remember. If y'all remember, you was watching, I said, make sure that y'all are stashing away a little cash just in case. Don't depend on the plastic. Don't depend on the chip. Because Esau can cut it all off at once. If you got any precious metals, hold on to those things. And I said, it could be small. I don't know everybody's pockets. But if you take maybe 25 out of each check you get or whatever, let me put that under the mattress. When something like this hits, or when there's a bank run, or when they cut off your cards, or let's just say somebody done hacked your account, you realize that somebody been running up your cards, and you got to get it turned off. And they say, well, you got to do all transactions in the bank. Oh, but guess what? Banks is closed. It's already, it's 7 o'clock at night. You realize that you wouldn't able to do anything. You can't get to the bank now. And you only got an hour and a half before, the Sabbath then hit. You got no money. What are you going to do? I tell y'all, make sure you got a little something. to make sure that you can get by any sense of an emergency. The Canadians all got caught slipping. Look at this. Network disruption triggers internet and phone outages in Canada. The outages affected customers of one of the country's largest telecommunication companies. Some local police services said customers couldn't even call 911. So you got an emergency, all hell can break loose. You can't even call the damn cops, man. So if Canada was really turned up like that, Jay should have been all in out here and in other inner cities. Jay should have been in these streets, man, acting a damn fool, stealing, robbing, trying to get everything that they can. Because you can't use your phone. The phones was called up. The major carrier of the internet and phone services went down yesterday. So all credit and debit transactions for businesses were shut down. You couldn't use your cards. Your phone wasn't working. Your internet was out. I mean, do you have or do our people have secondary reliable forms of communication? They were telling people to use landlines. I mean, who still got a landline? Is it just me? Did I get rid of my landline in error? Is everybody else still got? Who still got landlines? Put a 7 in the chat, man. If you got a landline still. Good point, Big Mick. That's true. That's true. Hey, nobody got a landline. Okay. Yeah, Karajas kind. See that? Absolutely. That's everybody locked in. Everybody locked in. Oh, some of y'all still got landline. Okay. Listen, I guess I'm the only one that got rid of my landline, man. Y'all must be still thinking on. I mean, who do you pay your landline to? Is AT&T still up or Pac Bell? I mean, I'm interested about that one because when some cell phones kicked in, and everybody got rid of their damn landlines. But nonetheless, Canada, they were telling everybody use your landline if you got a problem. But in actuality, all jokes aside, that is wise because if all hell breaks loose and you can't get on that damn internet that's connected to the satellites and everything else, you can't communicate unless you've got a ham radio, unless you've got a walkie-talkie that can reach your neighbors or whoever are trusting to be on the other end of that. Um, Outside of that, communications will pretty much be limited unless you got a satellite phone. But what good is that if who you trying to call don't have access to answer anyway? You follow? So either way, you're screwed. But they got hit yesterday. Let me see if it's back up because I'm not even sure. Uh let's see if it's back up. Yeah, mobile internet service mostly back in Canada after outage. Mostly back. Canada outage leaves millions without the internet and hits ATMs and 911 lines. So millions were out without being able to utilize their phones, internet, or cards pretty much the whole day yesterday. This was 9 minutes ago, so it said most of them. The disruption, which Toronto-based telecommunication company offered no explanation for, started Friday morning. That's why I said, was there a glitch in the matrix or was this planned? If they were able to fix it and not offer any reason as to why or what happened, then that was a social experiment. They wanted to see how and the people would react when you get cut off from the system. When you get cut off from the beach, man, can you survive? What are you gonna do, man? People was out there freaking out, losing their damn minds, man. Look at the zombies. They locked in on them phones, man. So it said it lasted more than 15 hours. I forgot what time it started, so it pretty much lasted the majority of the day. It's only 24 hours out of the day, so 10 hours they had the phones, or 9 hours they had phone service. At what point in time was that? Who knows? But they said it's mostly back up. But yeah, they got hit. So again, it just shows you that there's a social experiment that's going on, man. I remember maybe about a year or so ago, there was some outages in people's phone services. We've been hearing about cyber attacks and all that other stuff, for the last year. So don't be surprised if there's more experimentation that happens, man. And they start, they're talking about power outages happening this summer. So they want to run some tests and see what happens with people. How prepared are you? How prepared are we in regards to dependency upon the beast system, man? A lot of people got they mouth so firmly wrapped around the teat of the great horror, man. They gonna lose their damn mind, man. That teeth get pulled out the mouth, they gonna cry like babies. Look at some of the tweets. We recognize that Rogers Network customer, are experiencing a Canada-wide outage. There may be issues connecting to 911. If your calls fail, try again or call from a landline or cell phone by another provider. Gas pumps at Costco are down this month. Not so like it. Down this morning. Payment system issues apparently at other places as well. Look at this. Take note. Due to nationwide Rogers outage, MRD offices are unable to process interact transactions, cash or check only until services are restored. We apologize for any inconvenience. Can Immunize has identified an issue in the jab booking site that is preventing some people from booking a second booster. So even their computer systems, man, that was keeping track of people that was getting poked went down. Look at this. Chinese researchers develop a device that can test loyalty of a ruling party members. So leave it to China, man, to try to show their technology in regards to their loyalty to the system, loyalty to the government, loyalty to the beast. They're creating this AI technology, man, so that they can pass it off to Esau. There's not going to be an inquisition. They're not going to need to go through all this up, let me scan your hand, let me make sure you got that thing. They are creating artificial intelligence that's basically surrounded around facial recognition and a polygraph that's going to be able to tell whether or not you're loyal to the beast or not. They're developing technology right now that's pretty much doing Minority Report pre-crime. I don't know if I put that in here. Let me see. This is Forbes from 2018. The future of policing using pre-crime technology. If anybody's seen that movie, Minority Report, that's what they're doing right now. Um, the latest one I believe they had was I think they said they were able to try to predict crime within a week ahead of time. I mean, how is the damn devil coming up with this madness, man? It's beyond me. He thinks and wants to believe he is the most high, man. Predictive crime software. I mean, look at this madness. AI algorithm predicts future crimes 1 week in advance with 90% accuracy. I mean, how are they coming up with this stuff, man? It's the mind of the damn devil and the beast. And you know who they're going to frame. 90% accuracy, man. So not only are they creating the algorithms and they have the technology through facial recognition, so forth and so on, it's going to test your loyalty to the beast. They can also say, you know what? He's about to do some BS in about a week, man. Lock him up now. You ain't even did nothing yet. I ain't even did nothing yet, man. Hold on. See, look at this. This CBS News. They out here using talking about pre-crime, talking about utilizing technology to test your loyalty to the system is artificial intelligence making racial profiling worse? Because you got to remember who is creating these particular systems of technology. The brain behind the operation is the one who's programming these things. So if the programmer is utilizing uh, racist ideologies, they're programming it into the AI. Like Georgetown Security Studies Review, racism is systematic in artificial intelligence systems too. Many people think when they think of AI systems, they think about robots or self-driving cars. AI often elicits a sense of amazement, of wonder, a possibility for the future. But just as AI offers advancements, there is also a potential for a bleak future. Machines are prone to bias and racism. These machines learn by running training data through algorithms, each crafted by human handlers. See? So every algorithm, everything that they put in there comes from the humans. And if Esau, man, and the rest of the nations that hate us, their programming and the system that's going to be programmed ahead of time is going to be biased against Israel, as it always is, man. I'm not going to read this whole thing, but I've got articles in the past I've covered where AI, man, is utilizing um, racial slurs. This is why you seen Google talking about how they are improving their cameras to recognize every shade and every color now. They're trying to hone in on Jake. See, it is important to focus on private companies when considering AI because of the dominance in research and development, as well as their main aim to proliferate this technology. There are already countless examples of bias in an AI exemplified in private companies' practices. For example, Amazon recently created facial recognition systems rec- recognition that was proficient in detecting lighter skinned men but had trouble identifying dark skinned women and men. Facial recognition AI programs learn from training data, in this case, millions of pictures imputed by humans. The service misidentified women from men. How they gonna do that when they're out here promoting all the damn transformer propaganda? The service misidentified women for men 19% of the time and dark skinned women for men, darker skinned women for men 31% of the time. But for lighter skinned males, there was no error. So, in other words, once they perfected the light skin, meaning Esau, Ammon, Moab, they're going to get preferential treatment via AI. Melanated folks, we're in trouble. While unknown, this is likely due to the skewed sample of training data pictures with more containing lighter skinned people than darker skinned people. So, I mean, you see what's going on. Don't think that this technology, man, is only going to be subject to the Chinese. And the gooks make it for that so they can pass it on down to their white zaddy, man, Esau. Okay. So pre-crime, your loyalty to the party, man, it's all lined up. NWO system, man, is already here. Look, ICBM test rocket exploded seconds after launch, briefly setting a fire to their California base. The Minotaur 2 space launch. Esau, man, trying to match up nuclear testing and missile testing with Russia and with North Korea and with China, and they over here failing. So America's got a strong army. America's got the power of the beast, but the biggest thing that they have is influence, money, power, dictatorship around the world. They're going to be able to still impose their will on all the other nations, living off of their past. But they're having failures within their own technology when it comes down to these missiles right now. Look at the drought. Almost half the country's in the drought right now. This is as of July 5th or July 7th. Okay. Look at this. And we just got through reading earlier about one of the causes of famine and starvation was drought. And America is halfway there. Water, food, supply. I mean, you got to have water for the livestock. You got to have water for the vegetation. You got to have water to drink. It's all coming up short. Okay. Oh, this is interesting too. Emmett Till. Emmett Till protesters stormed a senior living facility in search of a woman accused of setting a lynch mob on him after 1955. Warrant for her arrest is unearthed in Mississippi courthouse. So some of y'all may have seen this, man. There was a warrant that got issued out for the woman that initiated the whole lynch mob killing of Emmett Till, 14-year-old boy, man. Everybody knows the history. They had a warrant out for her. Somehow it got buried under the rocks, and she never got summoned for her warrant. She never got prosecuted. Um, she disappeared. Apparently, she's still alive. Jake's trying to find her. Listen, we don't have the same rights. We don't bear the complexion for the connection to do that. I read the story last week, man, where the damn Edomites, man, arrested and prosecuted a 101-year-old Edomite man that was a guard for 3 years at one of the World War II concentration camps. They're gonna get them. You Negroes don't have that same right. That's not happening. Okay. First of all, the scriptures tell us this. We know this, man. Shaq, where you at? Shaq, where you at? I'm gonna go ahead and read this one. Zechariah 11:5. Whose possessors slay them? Let me read it. Zechariah 11:4 and 5. Thus saith Yahweh my power. Feed the flock of the slaughter, whose possessors slay them and hold themselves not guilty. And they that sell them say, blessed be Yahweh, for I am rich, and their own shepherds pity them not. So the plight that happens between our people, the children of Israel, man, our possessors slaying us, and then they hold themselves not guilty. I didn't do it. In the court of law, evidence all in front of everybody's faces, man. Warrants being unearthed, nobody coming to justice, man. Everything is innocence. And then they got these damn Negro preachers and peace seeking Jakes running around talking about that was in the past. We all got to get along, leave it alone. That was, you know, you wasn't there. I wasn't there. Isaiah 59, let's read 12 down to 15. It says, for our transgressions are multiplied before thee, and our sins testify against us. For our transgressions are with us, and as for our iniquities, we know them. In transgressing and lying against the Most High, and departing away from our power, speaking oppression and revolt, conceiving and uttering the heart's words of falsehood. And judgment is turned away backward, and justice standeth afar off. For the truth is fallen in the street, and equity cannot enter. See what happens when we transgress against the Most High God? This is why the commandment is so important. This is why repentance is important. This is why us correcting ourselves in measure and making sure that the Most High is the at the forefront of our minds, and we follow after His word. Otherwise, we're going to go through these particular situations in transgressing and lying against the Lord and departing away from our power, speaking oppression and revolt, conceiving and uttering from the heart words of falsehood, and judgment is turned away backward. Justice standeth afar off, and for the truth is fallen in the streets, and equity cannot enter. Verse 15, yea, truth faileth, and he that departed from evil maketh himself a prey, and the Lord saw it, and it displeased him that there was no judgment. So are people thinking storming this damn old folks' home is going to bring justice? The Lord said, no, justice ain't even around, man. Truth is out the streets. They're not going to bring her to justice, man. Protesters are in search of Carolyn Bryant Dunham, now in her 80s, of Raleigh, North Carolina, after a 1955 arrest warrant is unearthed in Mississippi. She accused a 14-year-old of whistling at her in a grocery store in Money, Mississippi. Dunham's husband, Roy Bryant, and half-brother J.W. Millam were arrested for his lynching, but were later acquitted. The pair later admitted guilt, but couldn't be prosecuted due to double jeopardy laws. On Wednesday, protesters went to 3 listed addresses under Dunham's name in search of her, but didn't find her. One of the addresses was a senior living facility. Raleigh PD was called, and the facility was locked down. Video of the event shows protesters asking seniors if they recognize Dunham's photo before leaving and chanting Black Power, no justice, no peace. Same old damn crap, man. Our people will never learn. Never learn. That ain't how we going to get justice. All right, Lamentation 4:17. As for us, our eyes as yet failed, for our vain help in watching for We have watched for a nation that cannot save us, man. You thinking marching protesters, man, doing some little fake manhunt on this little 80 plus year old Edomite, bro? It's not gonna do it, man. It's not gonna do it. All right. Uh, well, listen, they're offering wisdom now in the in the newspapers and the press now. Plan your grocery trips. Only fill your car halfway once a week. Skip the latte. Financial expert urges Americans to cut the fat as she warns U.S. is already in a recession. So, despite what Slow Biden is saying, despite what these cats on the damn internet telling you, the stock market is going to rebound. Come on, put more money in. Support the beast. I can't lose all my money. I need you suckers to keep putting some money in here for me. You understand? That's the game. The more that they can keep convincing everybody, man, stay in the system, stay in the system, because they got money to lose too. So the more it stay propped up, the more they keep getting some money, the more that they can have some hope that America's going to rebound. It's going to be back. We're going to build back better. No, no, no. Count me out of that, man. Because you can see here, man, they trying to tell everybody. Slow Biden saying, oh, we're not in a recession. A lot of these economists are saying, oh, it'll happen next year. But by all accounts and purposes, man, and you looking at the increases of inflation from the meat, the um, the grains, the gas, the oil and the power, everything else. I mean, it's already on a serious downturn. Look at this. Look at this beautiful couple here. This are the parents of the Highland Park shooter, Crimo, whatever, Bobby, right? Uh, Highland Park shooter mom was convicted of leaving him in a hot car for 27 minutes when he was 2. As arrest reports reveal, her attacks on his dad with a shoe and a screwdriver. He comes from a real nice home. The mama is the one of the main damn problems. I mean, this dude was all screwed up, man. Left in a hot car for 27 minutes when he was 2. He didn't see his mama chase down Pops, man, with a shoe and a screwdriver. Pops went and helped buy him the damn AR. I mean, this dude had no business purchasing no guns. He was already got uh stopped, questioned by the police, man. He got seen as a mental health issue. But remember, man, when you're talking about uh damn, Operation Northwoods, you don't know what that is, look it up. How Esau operates, man. There's an agenda that needs to be fulfilled, man. We all know what it is. Disarm the public so that they can really impose full control. So this dude, man, was pretty much, man. He seemed like he was just pretty much pawn in the game, man. There was a meme, man. Somebody had posted. I forgot where it was, but it was talking about how the Buffalo shooter, he's in custody. Dylan Roof, he's in custody. This guy, Bobby Crimo, he's in custody. Jake's that's unarmed. You name it. From uh what's the brother's name that just got shot 60 times? Leland. Good lord, why am I drawing a blank? Y'all know who I'm talking about. From Sean Bell, 50 shots over there in New York and Queens, to the brother that just got hit with 60. All I mean, I'm drawing a complete blank. If y'all got it, man, throw it in the chat, man. Help your brother out, man. Information overload. Information overload on my part. But look, this dude, Robert Crimo the third, told cops he was a depressed drug user. So I mean, he's clearly acknowledged. He said he was going to kill everybody. He said he was going to kill his parents, and they took all his knives from him a year ago. They still let him go buy some guns, man. Still let him go out there and get loose. And they told him he dealt with depression and he's a dope fiend. I mean, come on. And then they sit back and say, it's the gun's fault. It's the gun's fault. Really? See that NYC health officials reinstate face mask advisory indoors and in crowds as all 5 boroughs into high DVOC alert. So it's coming back. It's coming back. The ninja's going to creep on you. It's in the shadows. Get ready. Right? Now, I don't do entertainment news too much, man, and this ain't really entertainment news, but I just thought this was ironic. Inside Elon Musk's roller coaster love life, how the billionaire Tesla founder has fathered 9 children with 3 women and have gone through multiple divorces after leaving behind troubled South African childhood. Now, look, the only comparison that I looked at this was that they're always on Nick Cannon's head about how many kids he got, how many baby mamas he got, or whatever the case may be, right? Now they drag Nick Cannon all the time, clowning him about how many. There was some vasectomy company that was trying to get him to be get a vasectomy and sponsor the company and all this other madness. Only for the Negro man, only for the black man, they want to tell man, calm down with them kids. You don't need no more kids. You got baby mamas. You got all that. Look, Elon Musk got baby mamas. Hunter Biden got baby mamas. I mean, there's plenty of Edomites out here, man. They got baby mamas. But the stereotype is the Negro got it worse. Now, granted, by and large, we do because that was one of the curses of Deuteronomy 28:54. However, you can see through the press, nobody's really on Elon Musk's head talking about how much of a father he is. 9 kids. I think him and Nick Cannon got the same amount of kids. But they always on Nick Cannon's head trying to tell him, calm down. You don't need no more kids. Listen, if the women ain't complaining and the kids are all taken care of, and he's got the financial means to do it, mind your damn business. But the situational mind games that they out here playing is depopulate Negroes, Hispanics. You shouldn't be having more than 1 or 2 kids, so forth and so on, right? Remember, Psalms 83 says that they want the name of Israel to cease from before man. They want to cut us off from being a people. So Tesla's founder, Elon Musk, he can have 9, 10, 13 kids, 5 baby mamas. Nobody's tripping. But let it be Nick Cannon, and he's got the same amount. He got more baby mamas, I believe. But none of them is whining and complaining. None of them is taking them to court. None of them is wilding out. So if he's able to control that situation, what business is it of anyone else's unless there's an agenda to try to tell and implement in the minds of Black and Hispanic men, especially the women, don't have multiple kids. It gets back into the Georgia Guidestones. We need to reduce this population. Am I tripping on that? Do y'all feel me on that? Because clearly, white man can run around there with 3 baby mamas and 9 kids, and nobody say nothing. Jake do it, and it's all kind of damn dysfunction and madness going on. Unreal. Look at this guy. I know this ain't Friday Night Lights, but he's blurred out. But this is Joe Biden's son, slow Biden's son, smoking, firing up that rock, man. Naked Hunter Biden filmed himself smoking crack, drinking hard seltzers, and fondling himself while floating inside a sensory deprivation tank 1 month after convincing Dad Joe to wire him 20 G's for his detox program. This is the president's son, man. This ain't some teen photo when he was had hard times, like he was trying to paint in the debates with Donald Trump. Oh, my son, he was in the past, and everybody has people like that when they're young, and he's overcame it, and I can't tell. This dude's grown, man. Filming himself, sparking up that rock, naked man begging daddy for money, and slow Biden is enabling him, sending money. That's what I'm saying, man. These dudes, that dude's household is a wreck, and here he is trying to lead America, and as it goes, as the leader of the people, so is he. This place is going down the tubes. All praise to the Most High. I say another 4 more years for slow Biden. That'll only accelerate the destruction of America. Look at this. Hunter Biden is seen smoking, drinking, and touching himself in a float tank at a Massachusetts wellness center in January 2019. At a wellness center, he's got access to crack, huh? The president's son took the video himself, retrieved from his abandoned laptop while he was meant to be undergoing detox treatment. Text messages seen by DailyMail.com confirm the 7-minute clip was recorded at Blue Water Wellness in Newburyport, Mass. The video begins with a nude Hunter floating in the water and touching his genitals as music plays in the background. He later proceeds to take several hits from what appears to be a crack pipe and stares wildly into the camera as ambient music plays in the background. Just 1 month earlier, Hunter had texted his dad, Joe, complaining he didn't have enough money for the treatment program on top of bills and alimony. Joe later agreed to wire his son $75,000 to cover the cost, as well as an additional 20 racks for the treatment program in New York. Daddy, I need some money. Daddy, help me out, slow Biden. I mean, the dude is grown as hell, man, and still begging pops for money. This dude is all out of pocket. And if you see some of the images, man, this dude is all out of pocket, man. But it's slow by, man, enabling his son. Dope fiend, cracked out, and he's supposed to be the most powerful man in the universe, in the world. You understand? Who's that? Country Wayne? Yeah, don't get me wrong. I'm not promoting no types of fornication. I'm looking at just the principle. Just the principle. You know. And I definitely, especially after Nick Cannon's whole ordeal, when he went down there and bowed down to them damn rabbis, man, and slob rod, man. You know what I'm saying? After he had Professor Griff on and somebody else, I think, when he went and spoke his mind about us being the true Hebrews and the people and all that, and he double backed on all of that just to save his Wild and Out show and to save his talk show and all this other stuff. So be it far from me, man, to defending. But it's just ironic and just how they, promote the hypocrisy. You feel me? But yeah, you already know. Karatazar, he said be fruitful and multiply, man. Do it right. Nothing wrong with that. But they just trying to make sure that we don't do it. You understand? Who that last days? You said what? Windstream. I still talk on my landline phone. Okay. Put me on game because I sure don't have no landline. I don't know nobody with a landline, to tell you the truth. Oh, they offered it you as part of the package, can I? Yeah, okay. I feel what you're saying because they do have those them package deals now. I think it all depends on where you live too, because California, man, they damn sure don't promote no landlines. It's internet and cable. That's all they package deals. That's all they offering. Outside of that, we don't get no landlines like that I know of. Shaq, you said AT&T still got it? Let me find out. But yeah, man, all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, man. Hopefully everybody got some edification, man. Got some understanding. Got some compelling information, man, to carry on for the rest of your Shabbat. That's gonna be it for me today, man. Everybody all right? Everybody all right, man? Who you telling? Slow Biden ain't got no problem, man, handing out stimulus. He didn't gave a little stimmy to his son too. I'm wondering where you get the 90 where you get that money from. He's a career politician, man. His payment ain't like that. Who knows? But yeah. All right, so that's it for me, man. I'm gonna go Jalen Walker. There you go, Karatazar. Karatazar always got my back, man. When I hit them brain farts and them blanks. Jalen Walker, there you go. This brother got hit 60 times. 60 times. Can you imagine, man? Wow. All right, family. I'm gonna go ahead and slide on out of here, man. Got to get on to my next mission, man. All praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, Yahweh, man. You make sure if you have not, wipe them feet on that mat for me. Wipe your feet on your way out if you didn't wipe when you came in. Hit the like button. Make sure that the algorithms is maintained. Check your notifications. Check your subscriptions. Make sure that they stay solid, man. Not just my channel, other channels that you may have interest in that's teaching and promoting the truth. Because YouTube is back on the mission, man, trying to knock Jakes off the platform, man. Karatazar, Shalom, Mike. The rest of the fam, man, I'm gonna go ahead and slide on out of here, man. Always remember, man, fear the Most High, keep the commandments, and don't ever shoot your messenger.